And we're live. Welcome everyone, I'm Alpha1, some of you might know me better as Kevin Moo, and I'm bringing to you today, day 1 of the Hearthstone at Facebook Fall Series. We're going to have some exciting games today. We're casting the top 8, and today, 4 players will be eliminated and 4 players will remain. The remainder of the playoffs will be played tomorrow. Now, joining me today is my good friend and co-caster Chester.
Woo! Hey guys, I'm known as Arsenic Juice, your illustrious rank 3 co-caster here. Thank you for the introduction, Elf. So anyway, what do we got today? What are lineups looking like?
So matches are starting in approximately 35 minutes, but we're going to start by going over our 8 contestants and their lineups. So, in the first seed, we have Ang Lee. Now, going into this, Ang has to be considered the favorite of this tournament. He's the Pavel of Facebook. Came second during the first series, losing to some atrocious luck against Pirate Warrior. He's the first seed here. He has a stunning record against the remainder of the top 8, only dropping a series against rank 8 Trung Lee. And he's a consistent Legend player. He's been playing since the beta, his favorite deck's Control Warrior, and today he's bringing Druid, Priest, Rogue, and Shaman. So what do you think about this lineup, Chester?
Well, I mean, it's essentially the meta in one neat little pack. You're bringing Jade Druid, you're bringing Highlander Priest, Temple Rogue, and a little bit of Evolved Shaman on the side. It's basically the big 3, and well, you arguably could say the best outside the big 3.
That's
It's
right.
a very strong lineup.
That's right. Ang's playing my 4 least favorite decks right now. So, to start with, let's take a look at his Jade Druid. His Jade Druid, I'd say, is fairly standard. It's one of the lists that's been very popular lately. And so, while most Jade Druids have sort of the same 20, 24, 26 card core, I think it's interesting to look at the tech choices he's made. So some of the notable inclusions are 2 copies of Dirty Rat, 2 copies of Galactic Crawler, 2 copies of Mind Control Tech, and a Spellbreaker. And notable exclusions are he's not running Mark of the Lotus, and he's not running Khun the Forgotten King, he's not running Medivh. He's not running Medivh the Guardian. So what do you think about these tech choices?
Yeah, it's really interesting because obviously, even with the exclusion of all those cards you mentioned, it's still a really strong lineup. Medivh Last Guardian, of course, really strong in the mirror. We'll see how he does without that sort of boost from Atiesh. Not running Mark of Lotus, I think, is probably the biggest tech choice in there. Obviously, Mark of Lotus Spreading Plague is incredibly powerful. So we'll see how it does without that sort of swing potential.
Right, yeah. So that will normally reduce your effectiveness quite a bit against some of the more board control aggressive decks. So we're going to see 7 different Shaman players in this tournament. And as we know, Evolved Shaman or Bloodlust Shaman or Token Shaman, whatever you want to call it, is a deck that goes very wide on the board, meaning Spreading Plague, Mark of the Lotus very strong there. Of course, it's a little weak against Devolve, which is sort of one of the ways that Shaman can get through, but it's still an interesting exclusion. The inclusions, Dirty Rat is very strong against Highlander Priest, because if you pull...
Yeah, notice he's run 2 copies of that.
Yeah, so if you pull Raza the Chain, that's pretty much game over. And also combos really well with Mind Control Tech. I want to talk a little bit about Mind Control Tech because it's a card that's actually very strong in quite a few matchups. It's really good in the mirror because the mirror, the Jade Druid mirror tends to be very much about who can poop more Jades out faster. If you steal an Eye of Blackpool, that's game winning. If you steal a 7/7 Jade, I mean you stole a 7/7 Jade for 3 mana. Do you know how much Mind Control costs? And even against aggro decks, often you can steal one of their minions. A lot of aggro decks, Paladin, Shaman, Druid, go very wide on the board. And if you can steal one of their big taunts, for example, that's a huge deal. You steal a Thing from Below, or a Sunkeeper Tarim, or a Crypt Lord. That can be game-winning right there. Double Galactic Crawler is very strong in the current meta. Aggro Rogue is extremely popular right now, and Double Galactic Crawler is obviously tech choice there.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm agreeing with what you say here. Obviously, he's running both, like 2 copies of Galactica and 2 copies of Macron. Really sort of down on stack can provide, especially against an aggro and the mirror. It's solid.
Yep.
I think we can just move on now.
Yeah,
to
we probably spent too
Highlander
much time on this Jade Druid already. So Highlander Priest. This is a very, very standard lineup right now. It's probably the standard. The only notable inclusion I really want to talk about is the lack of Greater Healing Potion, which has been, and also the lack of Mind Blast actually. So those are.
Yeah, the Mind Blast might be a bigger one.
Yeah, so Mind Blast is very strong in the mirror. It's very strong against Jade Druid. It's one of the only things that lets you win the Jade Druid matchup sometimes. And Greater Healing Potion is obviously crazy against aggressive decks. However, he cut those, it looks like, to run the really popular package lately of Auchenai Soul Priest Circle of Healing, which provides more consistent board clears against aggressive decks. And also, you can see he's running both Gnomish Inventor and Novice Engineer, so he's focused a lot on Cycle. Speaking of Cycle, he's running Lyra the Sunshard instead of Gadgetzan Auctioneer, which is becoming popular lately. Now, Auctioneer is mostly there because of the mirror. In the mirror matchup, you want to draw as quickly as you can into Raza the Chained and Shadow Reaper Anduin, because the mirror is pretty much all about who can start machine gunning the other first. So, it's interesting sort of the draw package that he's opted for.
Yeah, I mean, even with the change, it's still a very popular list he's running in the current meta. So there's not much deviation from most standard lists. Again, Mind Blast is the only big miss there, but obviously he's opted for more draw consistency. So we'll see how that works out for him.
Yeah, I mean, overall it's still a very strong deck. This is one of the standard deck lists, and I expect it to be banned very often against him. He's definitely shown proficiency in the past with this list, and I would not want to run into Ang Lee playing Highlander Priest. The third deck is...
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
I was about to say. No, I was going to say, like, speaking of bans, Tempo Rogue...
the third deck, wow. Tempo Rogue, is the current darling of the meta.
Oh,
Everyone loves talking or complaining about Prince Keleseth, and with great reason. A turn 2 Keleseth Shadow Step is back-breaking. Although, that being said, when I played against Ang earlier this season, he actually managed to defeat me after I pulled off the Keleseth Shadow Step on turn 2. It was pretty shameful, actually. Nonetheless, he's running... Sorry, go on.
Clearly not skilled. No, I'm saying
I mean, I got outskilled. I got absolutely outskilled. But he's playing sort of the standard rogue list, I'd say. Yeah, I'm not sure there's any real notable cards. I guess we can talk about double Cobalt Scalebane. So I really like Cobalt Scalebane. It's crazy against Priest. It just offers you a really strong late game engine. And then he's also running Zaro Poison Mind. Now, we see in the first slot he has Zaro Poison Mind and Spellbreaker. I do really like Spellbreaker. There's a lot of very big silent spell targets in the current meta. But this does mean that he's cutting Prince Valinar, which we've also seen in some of these lists. Zaro Poison Mind is a little interesting. It's a low tempo card, which seems a little counterintuitive with how the deck works, but it does provide 2 1-mana spells that let you combo off into Valspine Slayer and SI7 Agent, which are huge. Other than that, we can see that he cut the Naga Corsairs, which were initially popular in this deck, but I'm going but with the advent of Galaka Crawlers as a counter to this deck, I'm actually pretty happy to see that he cut the Corsairs. Sorry, I cut you off. Please go.
Oh no, yeah, it's fine. Thanks for pointing out the mission of the Naga Corsairs. I'm sure that's definitely a deliberate choice to reduce the impact of Galaka Crawlers. We'll see how we'll just have to see how Zero works out. I mean, again, it's a card that generally gives you negative tempo. It is a nice little value package to sort of like help you out if your draw isn't going that well. But again, we just have to see how it pans out.
Yep. For what it's worth, we saw quite a few Zaros at the Hearthstone Summer Championships that happened just yesterday and the day prior. So maybe they know something I don't. I wouldn't be surprised.
I know, right? You just have some public legend. All right, moving on. For the final deck, outside the big three, Evolve Shaman.
Yep. You want to take the Evolve Shaman?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Again, Evolve Shaman, it's a deck which generally has one game plan. Get early board control, swarm the board into a backbreaking Bloodlust or Evolution target. And it's single-minded, but it's efficient and it's honest in what it does. I like it.
It's a very strong deck. It's clearly, it is not in the top 3 decks of Druid, Jade Druid, Highlander Priest, and Aggro Rogue, but it's being run as the 4th deck in many lineups. We saw Purple, Orange, and Pavel all run this during the Summer Championships to varying success. But we did see them actually lose quite a few games with the Evolve Shaman. Now, Ang here is running the complete standard Evolve Shaman list. I don't think there's a single card that deviates from the standard, and so I'm not going to go too deep into his tech choices because he doesn't have any. There's just a really solid list that can beat any deck and high roll against anything. And so,
oh yeah, it's a high roll potential that gets me all
Absolutely.
tingling. Okay.
So next we're going to move on to the number 8 player, Trung Lee, and Ang Lee's opponent in the first round. So, Trung's a mage lover, his favorite deck is Tempo Mage, and he is in general a tempo and control player. He played blue in Magic Gathering, which is something that I'm sure we've all experienced frustration against. And he has a background enjoying playing Japanese RPGs. I have quite a few friends who play Persona and Danganronpa personally. He has good taste. And so you can see during the regular season, he had middling results against the top 8, but what's really promising is that he had a 3-0 victory against first-seeded Ang Lee, who is instantly his first opponent. So, his decks. I feel like we've seen this story before. Highlander Priest. So, Trung Lee's Highlander Priest deck is, again, a very standard list. So I will point out the one real standout here, Eater of Secrets. So he's expressed that Eater of Secrets, he's expressed after seeing the deck list of the other players, that Eater of Secrets may have been a mistake. We have limited paladins, quite a few mages, but especially against his first opponent, Ang, he has not a single secret to eat. And a tempo 4-mana 2/4 does not feel very good.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be pretty sad putting that on the board. Again, you wonder if he might not have included Mind Blast in place of Eater of Secrets. You think it actually contribute more towards the deck's game plan than having like honestly kind of narrow tech choice in there.
Right, that's a great point. No Mind Blast. That's gonna be a huge deal in the mirror. It's gonna be a huge deal against Jade Druid. Ang is running both of those decks. We do see the Greater Healing Potion that I mentioned earlier when we talked about Ang, but we also see Gluttonous Ooze. Now, the only Ang is running 2 weapon classes, but both Rogue and Shaman weapons tend to be fairly small. It's just the Dagger for Rogue and the Jade Claws for Shaman. And so I'm not sure whether Gluttonous Ooze is going to have a huge impact in those matchups either.
Sure, you can say it's not going to have much of a huge impact, but again, it's a body, and sometimes you just need a 3/3 body just to get something on the board.
That's true.
We'll see how it goes.
The other main exclusion is he's not including the Oknai package, but this is still the core of an extremely solid deck that I've lost to repeatedly on ladder. In fact, this deck is actually why I quit Hearthstone recently. Well, I didn't really quit, but why I stopped playing as much. Highlander
That's a shame. Highlander Priest is an amazing deck.
Yeah, of
Takes
course.
great skill to pilot.
I'm co-casting with a Priest main right now, so, differing opinions.
Priest represent. Okay, moving on to his next deck, Jade Druid. No surprise.
Yep. Anything that jump out at you with this deck list?
Yeah. I like that he's included counterfeit coin in this list. Not something you usually see. Don't think Blizzard's coded that in yet, but we'll see how it does.
That's right. He's running double Innervate post nerf. I don't know about this, especially since he isn't running Gadgets and Auctioneer. Innervate, it's still a tempo swing, but is a turn 9 Ultimate Infestation that strong? I don't know. Innervate turns can definitely still catch players off guard, but at +1 mana instead of +2, I'm not sure it still merits an inclusion in this deck. And so
it's definitely less backbreaking.
Backbreaking, yeah. Again, we're seeing the lack of Mark of the Lotuses, which I'm also questioning. But on the other hand, we are seeing double Doomsayer. So
yeah, that's an interesting choice there. I point out double Doomsayer over Galactic Crawler. So honestly, he must be having something in mind that we're not seeing right now.
Yeah, so double Doomsayers has fallen out of favor recently with Druid. It's something I encountered a lot during my climb to Legend last month when when sort of the Token Druid and the Murloc Paladin were more prevalent. But nowadays, yeah, we see Galactic Crawlers more often, and we see just heavier ramp in this deck. But, so like we can see that he doesn't have the Mire Keepers that have started to grow in popularity in this deck. And he's also lacking some of the big cards again, similar to Aang. We don't have Malfurion, I mean not Malfurion, we don't have Medivh the Guardian, and we don't have Khun the Forgotten King.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how this all pans out. I'm really interested to see what his game plan is, because this deck does lack some notable RAM components.
That
so
being said,
you wonder if they can sort of compensate for that. Sorry.
That being said, while we were talking about Spreading Plague and Mark of the Lotus being extremely strong, one thing we should note is that Spreading Plague Doomsayer is actually backbreaking against aggro, so he does have that going for him. Let's move on to a Shaman deck. So, we've seen this story before, Evolve Shaman. This is the exact same list that Aang's running, card for card. I mean, not much else to say there. I hope we don't run into a Shaman mirror, because we saw from Pavel versus Orange how ugly those can get.
Yeah, I mean, it's capable of some incredible highs and some not so incredible lows. It's a fun deck, but it can also produce some truly miserable moments. Yeah, not much else to say about it. It's a run-of-the-mill Shaman list.
Yep.
Meanwhile,
finally, we have a class that you like, Tempo Mage.
Hey, Tempo Mage. Always good. It's nice to see a deviation from the standard Big Three. It's interesting you bring that up because I haven't played Tempo Mage in a long time, but just taking a look at the list, I would say it's a very standard list. Trying to get early on board with Mana Worm, and just sort of like maintain tempo with cheat removal and card draw.
Yeah, so he's running sort of the cheap secret core that's been really popular lately. But one of the big things that I noticed here is he's cut, with the drop of Paladin in the meta, he's cut Spellbender for Potion of Polymorph. A Potion of Polymorph can be really backbreaking against rogues, for example, going into turn 5, turn 6, where suddenly they're afraid to play their Bittertide Hydras, they're afraid to play their Cobalt Scalebanes, so that can be a big deal.
Yeah, it hits so much more as well, especially with Priest.
On the other hand, all those aggro decks also have a bunch of Fireflies and garbage 1-drops that they can throw at the potion, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this pans out. I guess one of the other big choices I see is that he's only running one Bittertide Hydra compared to the standard list, and instead he's running Archmage Antonidas. Now, Antonidas is a card that gives you reach against some of the more control decks, and so I'd be interested to see how that improves his matchup against, for example, Highlander Priest and Jade Druid. But on the other hand, Bittertide Hydra is also a card that's very strong against those two decks. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not the slower list with Antonidas pans out as he wants.
Yeah, I think Antonidas is just another finisher. Demands an answer, and again, it's an alternate win condition if his early tempo doesn't sort of carry him all the way. Yeah, but I think that's good. That's good for Chung right now. We'll see how he does. I'm excited.
Overall, he has a very solid lineup, and I don't think he has any really bad matchups that he's facing in Aang's lists. Although we'll see whether or not some of the tech choices he's made are going to bite him in the rear. So now we're going to move on to our next matchup. So we're looking at the second seeded player, Aaron Shotkin, our warrior specialist.
Hey, Aaron, repping Hunter.
Yep, so I'm really happy with Aaron's list. He's the only player bringing warrior. He's one of only two bringing hunter. And look at these lists. This is unconventional. So, there's no Rasakis, there's no Jade, and most importantly, he's running Dead Man's Hand Warrior. I cannot wait to see how this deck pans out. In fact, this is the deck I'm going to focus on first. Dead Man's Hand Warrior.
It deserves attention.
So I've talked to Aaron a lot about this deck actually, because he loves the deck and I'm really curious about how it runs. It's definitely not a deck I'm greatly familiar with. It's something that we don't see very often on ladder, and most of the times when I saw it, I lost horribly to it. So he definitely has the unpredictability going for him. So from what I've gathered, this deck should have fairly strong matchups against Jade Druid. It should be fairly strong against Highlander Priest. The Skulking Geist is huge in those matchups. He has a lot of anti-aggro cards, 2 Public Defenders, a Dirty Rat, all the AoE, Whirlwind, Sleep with the Fishes, and the real MVP, which is something that was introduced this patch, Blood Razor. I've been blown out by Blood Razor so many times in the last month.
Oh yeah, Blood Razor is an incredibly powerful card, not just in Arena as well. It's essentially a death play in the sense that it's incredibly powerful. It gives you incredible board advantage and allows you to just control the board.
Yep.
With 2 activations as opposed to just the 1.
Absolutely. Scourge Lord Garrosh, Skulking Geist, and Dead Man's Hand lets this deck outlast any other deck in the meta. Jade Druid can't go infinite. Highlander Priest loses a bunch of its Shadow Reaper triggers. Holy Smite's a big loss. Power Word Shield is a big loss. And then there's just a deck that can go head to head against any other deck in a control matchup. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this one pans out. But we should also talk about his other decks. He is in fact bringing 3 other lists.
Sure. Let's go with the other unconventional one. Let's go with Hunter.
Mid-range Hunter. There's a deck that I'm well known for playing actually. It's one of my sort of pocket decks, and it's something that I love playing. So Hunter's been declining in popularity lately. As we get in the higher ranks, it feels like the meta's getting more and more figured out, and sort of the top control decks are getting better at dealing with Hunter's aggression. However, I do really like what I'm seeing here. He's running double Kobold Scalebane, double Savannah Highmane, and double Bone Mare. People who assume that this might be a faster Hunter list can quickly get punished by these really high value minions. And add that to the fact that he is running the aggressive Hunter core, the Crackling Razor Maws, the Alley Cats, the Hyenas, and especially the Bear Shark, which is fantastic against Priest and Druid. Means that this deck is strong in all phases of the game. You also see double Unleash the Hounds, which is something that can catch aggro decks, especially Board Flutters. Wow, my brain caught up for a second there. Board Flutters, such as Evolve Shaman, which typically is very strong against Hunter off guard. In fact, one of the main ways you can beat an Evolve Shaman is by pulling off a big Scavenging Hyena Unleash the Hounds, and then they don't have to evolve, and you just smash them in the face for 15. So I'm also quite interested to see how my pet mid-range Hunter pans out.
Yeah, it's a very good list, and I mean, again, as you mentioned, it's designed to go sort of more mid-range and get more value out of his cards. The more aggressive decks, again, tend to snipe the less optimized lists, and I'm sure everyone at this point has sort of worked out the kinks in the decks.
Yep. One of the big exclusions we see here is he's not running the Deathstalker Rexar. So Deathstalker Rexar gained popularity around a month ago, but then it also started to wane in popularity. And so the reason there is just because while it's a lot of fun, and I love building a beast as much as anyone else, not having hero power that does 2 damage to face really goes against Hunter's game plan.
Yeah. Right, we just had to see how it goes. Meanwhile, his other 2 lists, bring none of the big 3, Mage and Shaman.
Yep, instead we have Quest Mage. So this is my pick for the least interactive and most boring deck in existence. You play cards, hope you draw well, and then send 15 fireballs to their face. That being said, this is an interesting tech choice. It's very strong against Razakis Priest, it's very strong against Jade Druid, it's really quite strong against any control deck. On the flip side, it gets utterly punished by any aggressive deck. And unfortunately for Aaron, his first opponent, Ron, is bringing a very aggressive list. This is a very standard Quest Mage lineup. Sort of the only deviation is he's running 1 Doomsayer instead of 2, and instead he's running a second Ice Barrier. Second Ice Barrier can help a lot against decks like Hunter and Rogue in the late game, but he does lose the early board clears and the early pressure alleviators of those Doomsayers. So his final list is Evolve Shaman. We've seen this story before. He's running -1 Bloodlust and +1 Bone Mare, which is actually something that I quite like. I am like Bloodlust is really important as a finisher, but there's no feeling worse than holding 2 Bloodlusts in your hand, right, Pavel?
Yeah. Nice catch. I mean, obviously, yeah, the Bone Mare is incredibly strong on its own. And the fact that you almost always have something up for Shaman means it'll definitely come off.
Right, exactly. Bone Mare actually has really good synergy in this deck. It can work with your hero power. There's a bunch of tokens that you can buff. And also as a 7 mana 5/5, it's a fantastic evolve target. They finally clear through whatever you Bone Mared, and you evolve the Bone Mare and you get yourself a Raglight Lord. Or, an Anomalous. But one can dream. And now we're gonna
All
go
right.
to Aaron's opponent, 7th seeded Ron Eisenband. So Ron Eisenband is someone who I've had the pleasure of playing as many times. He's someone who plays very similar decks to me, and his favorite deck is Malygos Druid. Fantastic taste, I love that deck, one of my top 3 all time. So probably the really interesting tidbit here is his main account is actually Yon Europe. He's gimping himself coming to America and playing with the rest of us. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how his lists with a more limited card pool plays out. I know he said that he likes to play Razakis Priest and Jade Druid on home soil, but he doesn't have either of those decks here. What he does instead have, though, is our first Aggro Druid. So Aggro Druid. Aggro Druid, in my opinion, is a fantastic deck. I actually started running it over Jade Druid in my own lists. Again, I have a lot in common with Ron here. It's a deck that can just get really ahead on board, even without the crazy swings that it used to have with Innervate Fledgling and Innervate Hydra. It's a deck that can just snowball out of control. It gains some huge tools in this patch, Druid of the Swarm and Crypt Lord, which can protect the rest of your little minions, and Crypt Lord especially can get crazily out of control. I'm disappointed to not see Crazed Alchemist in this list, because it's good both against Doomsayer and for turning your Crypt Lord into an offensive menace in the late game, but he's running the sort of standard Beast package with Marks of Yashirajas, double Galactic Crawler, which I do really like, and then the standard Enchanted Raven, Direwolf Alpha, Mark of Yashiraj. He's also running, interestingly enough, Bittertide Hydra. The Bittertide Hydra is very popular in older Aggro Druid lists, back when Innervate was still a card, but a lot of them have cut it in more recent times because it feels a little clunky and can often mess up your curve. You already have some dead cards in the early game in Living Mana. However, Bittertide Hydra is extremely good against Highlander Priest and Jade Druid, which might make up for some of its other deficiencies, and frankly, Aggro Druid does have enough aggressive tools as is.
Yeah, no, it's a very strong list. I'm interested to see how the one South Sea Captain pans out.
Right, that's an interesting point. It makes me wonder whether or not he only has one South Sea Captain on America. I would not be particularly surprised, but I definitely do know a lot of Aggro Druid lists do only run one South Sea Captain. I think I only run one.
Sure.
Now, moving on to his next deck. This is my baby right here. Mid-range Paladin. This is the deck I've played 170 games with in the last month. And so, do let me know if I'm talking your ear off here. So, this is a fairly standard mid-range Paladin list. One thing that's notable is he does only have one Valfin Inquisitor, most likely because he only owns one Valfin Inquisitor, and he's running one Grimscale Chum. But other than that, he's running what is pretty much the standard, more mid-range Paladin list. We have seen a more aggressive aggro Murloc version with Divine Favors pop up lately, but I will say I'm not a huge fan of that list. I really like running the mid-range, and so he's also running the Kobold Scalebane Curator tech. I'm a huge fan of this. I spent some of my time with this, so it is very strong against Priests. Kobold Scalebane is immune to Dragonfire Potion. There's only so many Shadow Word Deaths in that deck, and believe me, they need their Shadow Word Deaths, as Scalebane can just get out of control really quickly. Unfortunately, the cost of running Scalebane is that you have to cut the Corpse Taker package, the other popular package that's run in these decks, which is double Corpse Taker, Wicker Flame, Burn Bristle, I hope I didn't screw up his name, and Stormwatcher. And so, without the Corpse Taker package, this deck is a little weaker against aggro, where normally mid-range Paladin has a very strong matchup against, for example, mid-range Hunter. Nonetheless, this should be a very strong list. I'm looking forward to seeing how my favorite class plays out in this tournament.
Yeah, speaking of the Corpse Taker package, he's running that in Rogue.
Yep, he is running the Corpse Taker package in Aggro Rogue. That's something we don't see very often. However, I actually asked him about this, and it turns out a player called Hypnos played this exact list to rank 1 legend only a few days ago. So he's running double Stormwatcher, double Corpse Taker, Saronite Chain Gang, double Argent Commander. Wow. I can see how it's strong. Corpse Taker is crazy with Keleseth bots. It's amazing with Code Blood. If Scalebane hits it, incredible. Stormwatchers, they're a menace against Priest. Druid can't remove 8 health minions. Priest can't remove 4 attack minions. Of course, there is a big downside. This deck is slow.
It's kind of tubby.
Yep, compared to your normal aggro Druid list, it's going to be a little slower. We might see a little less consistency with the curve. He had to cut some key cards. We're seeing no hallucinates. We're seeing only one South Sea deckhand. We're seeing no South Sea captains. We're not seeing the Spellbreaker. We're not seeing the Sarrel. We're not seeing the Leroy Jenkins. So there's definitely a much slower deck than its sort of standard counterpart. But I mean, it's been piloted to rank 1 legend. It's definitely a good deck.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say its probably biggest strength is its matchup against Highlander Priest. That's my guess. And finally, we have Evolve Shaman. -1 Bloodlust, +1 Sea Giant. We've seen this list at the Summer Championships. We've seen this list from the last 3 players. I'm not going to talk about it.
We've seen this list from the rest of Ladder.
Yeah. Oh, he's also running a Barnes. We've seen this exact list at the Summer Championships. I think it was Purple and Orange who were running this one, with Barnes and 1 Sea Giant instead of a Bloodlust and Saturnight Chain Gang. And I'll be honest, I do actually like this variation. I think it feels a lot more consistent. And Barnes can definitely high roll into an Aya Blackpaw, a Sea Giant, a Flame Tongue Totem, a Manatide Totem, a Primal Fit Totem, or just something that you can evolve. Plenty of stuff you can get there.
Yep.
Now, we have 7 minutes until matches start, so I might have to speed this up a little. We're gonna go to our 3rd ranked player, Kevin Pruitt. So Kevin Pruitt, we got another mage specialist. In fact, he loves mage so much he really wishes he could bring more than 1. Unfortunately, rules are rules. Only 1 mage for you, Kevin Pruitt. Otherwise, I would bring 4 paladin decks. So
yeah, his mage list seems pretty value oriented.
yeah, so this is actually very similar to the Gunter or the Burn Mage list that we've seen in the previous meta. So we haven't seen that much of it. It's starting to come back up again lately. And so one of the big things in the Burn Mage is that it fares quite well against Highlander. It fares decently against Jade Druid, and it just takes a huge dump on aggressive decks. It's just a deck that can play both the tempo plan and the board control plan. He's also running.
Yeah, versatile.
Yep. The next deck, we've seen this before. Highlander Priest. So he's running sort of the most modern version. You can see the Mind Blast we talked about earlier. We can see no Lyra, he's running Gadgets and Auctioneer. We can see, I'm pretty sure this is I feel like this is the exact list that that Orange and Purple brought to the Hearthstone Championship. It's so strong. He's running Arcanine Circle. He has it all. This deck has it all. It has board clears. It has more board clears. It has single target removal. It has so much card draw. And it has broken Shadow Reaper Anduin. Thirdly, Aggro Rogue.
Pretty disgusting.
You've seen this before too. Again, we're seeing something that we saw from Purple and Orange. Barnes and Cairn Bloodhoof. Cairn, crazy against Jade Druid. Amazing against Highlander Priest, which can barely deal with the first Cairn, not alone the Bane Bloodhoof who pops out. It's an amazing curve play into Bone Mare, almost guarantees you have something to Bone Mare into. I love it. This deck is so strong right now, and he's running what is probably the strongest version. Finally, Evolve Shaman, utterly standard. I'm done.
Yeah. Nothing much to say here.
Nothing at all to say. So his opponent in the first round is bringing some really interesting decks. We have the 6th-seeded Andrew Powell. So Andrew Powell here, another mage lover, peaked at rank 40 legend way back in the heyday of goblins versus gnomes. We have some mech mage Dr. Boom running Scum right here. Started playing in mid-2014 as a real experienced player. But you gotta question whether or not some of these decks are a little outdated. Look at this Jade Druid. This is a Jade Druid we would have seen in Journey to Ungaro. Double Innervate, a lot of the cheap spells, and Gadgets and Auctioneer. But possibly more notably, only 1 Spreading Plague and no Ultimate Infestation. Where is that 20 mana card for 10 mana? That being said,
yeah, Praise Yogg.
Yeah, we do have Praise Yogg. We have a lot of spells, and we have Yogg-Saron Hope's End. Now, I've been on the receiving end of some really brutal Yoggs against this deck, and so I'll look forward to watching somebody else get blown out by Yogg-Saron. we have Mid-Range Hunter. Honestly, this might not be Mid-Range Hunter. This looks almost like Face Hunter. There's a very low curve capping out a Tundra Rhino. We're seeing double Rat Pack. We're seeing double Unleash. We're seeing 8 1-drops. Wow. This is definitely a much more aggressive tilt on the regular Hunter deck. That being said, one notable exclusion, which I really don't like here. He has no Bear Sharks. I'd really love to see Bear Sharks. Bear Shark is fantastic against Priest. It's fantastic against Control. It's fantastic against any deck that relies on spell removal. So it does make me pretty sad not to see one here.
Yeah, you can't help but think that might be a bit of a misstep here. But again, I'm sure he knows his deck better than I do.
Yep. Thirdly, we have a very interesting list here. This might be the most unique list I've seen in this entire tournament. We have what is an Elemental Frostlich Jaina list. Without Skulking Geist, like some of the standard, the more standard sort of control grinder mages have. On the other hand, this is a deck that has a lot of removal, has really solid minions. It can play the tempo game, and in the late game, Frostlich Jaina is one of the strongest value generators in the game. That being said, 1 Flame Strike, no Blizzards, 1 Meteor, and 1 Volcanic Potion leaves me wondering whether or not this might be a little vulnerable against aggressive decks if you don't get that beautiful Mana Worm Primordial Glyph into Frostbolt crazy curve. We'll see how it goes. That being said, he's also running a lot of the secret package, but without Kirin Mage. We're seeing 2 counterspells, a Frozen Clone, a Potion of Polymorph. It's interesting to see all of these without sort of Kirin Mage, which is the enabler of the really crazy turn 3 Kirin counterspell or Kirin Mirror entities. So I'm really curious to see how this deck plays out because I have no idea. Finally, we have Paladin, my favorite class, but a different twist on it. So this is a Paladin I've seen occasionally around. It's what's known as sort of the Man Paladin, the Man mid-range. It has a lot of guys. Lost in the Jungle, Stand Against Darkness, Light Fuse Stegodon to buff all of those guys up. We got a lot of Divine Shield people, Righteous Protector, Archer Protector, Blood Knight for the Divine Shield synergy, Steward of Darkshire, and a ton of 1 health minions. We have, as always, the Stonehill Defender, which is crazy in the late game for Paladin. This is a really interesting list. Again, I have very little clue about how its matchups might play out, but wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to analyze a deck like this. It's so unique. But,
I'm sure we can see more of it later on.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think it's all the time we have left. Unfortunately, go over the previews. I think we're missing 2 more.
Yep. So I'm checking. It does look like none of the players are in a game yet. Although it looks like Ang and Trun are in in the menu getting ready to play. I'm actually going to ask quickly. I'm quickly asking Ang what the bans are. So, alright, we're gonna launch this up. We have Ang Lee against Trung Lee, and it looks like both of them have banned Highlander Priests. Not a huge surprise, but definitely a well-deserved ban for both of them.
Honestly, I'm just disappointed I don't get to see a Priest Mirror.
I'm not. The Priest Mirror is a nightmare.
Not with that attitude.
Yep, and so we're just waiting for them to get started now. It looks like most of the players are currently in the Preparing to Battle of Fred menu, talking out their bans. We also have the news that in the Aaron versus Ron series, Aaron banned the Murloc Paladin and Ron banned Evolve Shaman. So we're going to see they're going to have some fireworks off stream there. Alright, and the game is starting and we can get ready to observe some of these players, if my Hearthstone doesn't lag. Alright, there we go. It's 2017 and we still don't have a great way to set up or spectate tournaments in Hearthstone. Blizzard.
Hashtag indie dev, right?
Yep. And looks like we're going off in a firecracker of a match. Rogue versus Shaman. Let me see if I can... How does the spectator thing work? How do I spectate both players. I know there's a way, but it won't. I'm gonna message Logan who spectated the last one.
Yeah, sure. Why you message me? I just sort of like take over for a bit.
Yep. Wow, that's a pretty strong opening hand for Aang though. He's curving
It's
out with the
incredible,
fireflies,
actually.
he has backstab, he has shadow step, but no Kaliseth in sight. If he draws Kaliseth on turn 2, this can get really ugly real fast.
Sure. Yeah, it's got Grand Nibbler for Valspine Slayer, and he's got Swashbuckler in there just to sort of like help him with his draw.
Yeah, this should work. I should be able to spec Raurak. I might have to bow out of this game for a second and see if I can make this work.
Also, you might want to replace Trung's list with Shaman instead.
Oh, right, yeah. I totally forgot about that. Have indeed Trungli Shaman. It's still not letting me spectate Trung, which is very unfortunate.
That's awkward. Yeah, Aang's just doing what he can to sort of like keep Trung's board presence down.
Yeah, it's definitely very important for him to stabilize on this board against Shaman. You don't want to let Shaman build up a board because they have such strong tools like not Manatide. Well, yeah, also Manatide, but like Flame Tongue Totem.
Yeah, Downcast Matai.
Oh, that
that's
is unfortunate. That is a drawn Patches Pirate by Trung Li.
Yeah, Spellbreaker has come down just to silence Matai, just to keep Trung from drawing any gas.
Yep. I don't know why spectating doesn't work properly here. I'm definitely friends with both players. Blizzard, small indie dev.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't know you could spectate like both players. I thought you could only spectate one.
Yeah, as long as you're friends with both players, it's possible. I've definitely done it before. I'm really not sure why it's not working. Maybe if I try to spectating from Trung's point of view, that might work.
Incredible production value right here. Just saying.
Yep. Or it could just be bugged. It's literally just Trung who's bugged.
Ah! Wow.
Well.
That's unfortunate.
That is very awkward. Nonetheless, as we get back in the game, it looks like we Spellbreaker to Manatide Totem. That's pretty much a paperweight now. And Aang looks like he has a pretty commanding board state. He does opt to kill the Heal Stream Totem instead of the Manatide Totem, which is very interesting, because even though it's currently a dead weight, it does have 3 health, and it's a 3 mana card that can get evolved up. Now, Trung pulls off... Sorry, go on.
No, anyway, it's definitely not dead weight. With like Flame Tongue's evolved target, it has its uses.
Yep. Now, Trung pulls off one of those really abusive things from Shaman, the 1 mana 5/5. That being said, it doesn't look like he has a strong tempo play in hand to combat what is a very scary board, and it only gets worse for him from now on out. Valspine Slayer can take out this Thing from Below right away, and Thing from Below is the biggest minion in his deck. That's a Kaliseth. We might see Kaliseth, Shadow Step, Kaliseth, Coin, Valspine here. Nope, it looks like he's just gonna go for a Swashbuckler or Valspine. Honestly, a very good choice. At this point, he has enough board control that he can make a huge pressure for lethal. Next turn, Fire Elemental, Code Blood, that's a lot of damage. Yep, he sees it too. Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
Just going face now.
Yep, the scale bane spreading out the
honestly,
damage.
Honestly, Trung lost board a couple turns ago, but now it's very difficult for Shaman to come back, even with Maelstrom Portal. I mean, Chung's list doesn't necessarily run Lightning Storm,
Right.
and with that out of the way, I don't see how he can come back from this.
Yeah, he needs like a really big doppelgangster evolve or something. Well, that spell damage totem is a huge start. That's how he comes back from it. Spell damage totem, double Maelstrom portal. That is dirty.
Oh wow, that's serious Global Warren right there because wow, did not see double Maelstrom portal coming out.
That being said, Fire Elemental, one of the strongest minions in the game, just making its presence known. He finally opts for the Calisat. But
I mean,
he's saving the Shadow Step. I like it. Shadow Step is really... Never mind, the Fire Elemental is dead. I was going to say that really good synergy with Fire elemental, but no more.
I mean, Trung
Wow.
just barely—he's barely keeping. Not only is he barely keeping up, he's aggressively retaking the board.
Yeah, Trung has just taken the board back in a big, big way. Suddenly...
I mean...
Oh, that is a fantastic SI7 draw. So, yeah, I mean, without the SI7, Aang's hand looked really awkward. There wasn't much that contest this board. We could have seen a big bloodlust into lethal, but that SI7 is huge. I'd like to see whether or not he Shadow Steps the SI to take out the Mistress of Mixtures. One interesting thing is if he does that, it loses the Keliseth bug. Not bug, buff.
Something you're familiar with.
Something I'm familiar with. That's actually how I threw my game against Aang after pulling off turn 2 double Keliseth.
Yeah, and there goes Shadow Step. I mean, I think it's a good move. Like, he absolutely just wants to limit Trunk's board as much as possible. With double Maelstroms out of the way, there's very little way he can come back.
Yeah, that's huge. The Mistress of Mixtures allows him to... Mistress of Mixtures, which came off Maelstrom Portal, actually allows him to heal up out of range also. Now, oh, Saturnight Chain Gang. Are we gonna see an evolve from Trung? That is a big board. Doomsayer, Wild Pyro, none of the above. Instead, we have White Eyes and Dire Horde Hatchet. That is a fat board. Those are a lot of taunts. I think Trung finds himself in a dominating position. Yeah, this is a really... Aang doesn't have a hand. I don't think... If Trung has a Bloodlust, this game is over. Trung is running double Bloodlust. This is really scary. Code Blood does let him trade offs off the board, but this is not looking great. Let's see what this Master of Evolution turns out. We got a Evolve Rogue now, and it's just a 4/4. That's not a great outcome. It is not a terrible outcome, to be fair.
It's solid.
It doesn't die to anything on Aang's board, which is notable. Nonetheless, I think we can say that Trung is heavily ahead. There's a dominating board state. He has 3 cards, and that Manatite Totem is going to go uncontested.
That's the final nail in the coffin right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure Aang can come back from this. The Rogue, as we know, runs no card draw. It's only Value Engine is up, and he sees this. He knows it's over.
There's the CC.
He's out of here. So I'm gonna quickly bow out and restart my Hearthstone here, and hope that that's gonna fix the spectate bug.
Yeah, honestly, I have to admit, I actually did not see the comeback from Shaman. It's been a while since I've
I mean, that was just a perfect example of Shaman bullshittery. He got Spell Power Totem into double Maelstrom Portal. He doesn't have that totem, double Maelstrom suddenly looks much, much worse.
I mean, I think the crucial turn point was definitely the 2 Maelstrom Portals with spell damage. So that's literally double consecrations for mana.
Yeah, exactly. That's absurd.
But
the
crucial thing is it just allowed Trung to sort of get enough board presence to force Aang to expend his resources to try and trim it down. And because of that, he didn't have enough to sort of deal with the evolved Saturnight Chain Gang.
Yep. So after a restart, we're still not able to observe Trung Lee, which is a problem. I'm actually asking. Oh, we have the Shaman Mirror, but yeah, I'm asking Trung whether or not he has friend spectating turned off because I mean. Anyways, let me replace the right side deck list with Aang Lee Shaman.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm not sure who drew patches.
Yep, Aang Lee drew patches.
Oh wait, yeah, Aang drew patches. Sorry.
That is definitely a patches from Aang Lee. And we have confirmation from Trung that he does in fact have friend spectating turned off.
Oh, saves, boys.
That would do it.
Yeah, as you can see, just from the opening exchanges,
Alright, and now we
goal
can
of
see.
both decks
Oh,
is
that
to-
is a
oh, there we
pretty
go.
dead hand from Trung. He did have the double Firefly, but evolve. I guess he can probably hero power evolve this turn. Coming up.
Yeah, we'll see why he's just so desperate to get early board control. I mean, that's the name in the game for Shaman. But the fact that his hand's so unwieldy, I suppose, he's even more. It's even more imperative board dominance.
Yep. I'm starting to suspect I have a spectator bug because, yeah, this Hearthstone is a really well-coded game made by a small indie dev who's doing their best. So, you know, I shouldn't complain about these things. But we did, in fact, have a spectator bug where the game froze and we was not registering any of the inputs.
You think you could do a better job?
Do you really want me to answer
Probably.
that question? Yes, I absolutely think I can do a better job. Oh my gosh. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, you see the early devolve coming out just to get rid of the primal field totems
Yep.
before they steam out control.
Now, that animated Berserker is a huge devolve. That's gonna be a real problem for the Firefly.
Wow,
He can't play the patches to Pirate.
Wow.
His development is sort of stymied by this animated Berserker. Oh, please play patches. I want to see this. We have an update from Aaron
that's not
Shotkin that he won his first game against Ron Eisenman with Quest Mage against Aggro Rogue.
Quest Mage against Aggro. Ooh, wow.
Yeah, that's definitely a favorite matchup for the Rogue. As he says, he got lucky. Quest Mage can beat anyone on a good deck. It's like Solitaire. And
I roll
that's
anyone with
another
the deck.
damaged minion by that animated Berserker. This animated Berserker is putting in work for Trung, but that's a really dead hand. This is... Oh, but that's huge! 4 health on the thing from below. Misa's vulnerable
my
to Jade
God!
Lightning!
Oh,
no!
Oh, the betrayal.
And Trung draws Aya Blackpaw to curve into next turn. How the tables turn.
Armor, how can you do Chung like that? That's dirty.
And he still can't kill off the Berserker! He has a bunch of 1-2s that are just crippled. Oh, I think he's gonna evolve this board.
Oh, he has to. Absolutely.
No,
has to.
he doesn't. Oh, he got the heal stream totem. That does fix it. Oh, and the top that Doppelgangster to turn 6. That is dirty.
Wow.
That is utterly
rolls.
filthy. And a sick evolve too. Unbelievable. Oh, that's a
filthy.
Bloodlust
Oh, wait.
top deck. So he can use Bloodlust to clear this board, but yeah, Patch's
He
Bloodlust
has-
is a
he has
board
to use
clear.
Bloodlust. He has to use Bloodlust to clear this board, otherwise he risks falling behind.
But we can see Trunk's hand here. He's just gonna curve into Aya Blackpaw and not care. Bloodlust? He's not playing Patches? Oh no.
I can only imagine saving Patches for the
Oh wait, no,
evolved
he's better than Aya.
but-
He needs to kill off the animated Berserker first. Patches can take off either the 1 health or the Divine Shield. Aang is so much better than me. Aang is so much better than me.
Wow.
So if I were playing there, I would have played the Patches right after commenting about the animated Berserker and got embarrassed on stream. And this, boys and girls, is why Aang is the favorite coming into this tournament. Or maybe I'm just a bad player.
Jade Lightning coming
Well,
out.
Jade Lightning helps, but
Commander.
Aang's hand is really, really clunky. Meanwhile, we see Jade Claws and Thing from below from Trung. Is Trung Aang's kryptonite? Is he gonna repeat his performance from the regular season where he 3-0'd Aang? It's starting to look like it. What can Aang do? He can't clear this board. He has the Saturnight Chain Gang. Oh, Bloodlust! That is such a dead
wow.
draw. He has. Is he gonna evolve? He is gonna evolve. If he doesn't get taunts, Bloodlust just kills him.
Yeah, I know he has to.
Yeah, he's evolving.
Oh, actually, no, he has to.
Oh no! He ended.
Zero.
Oh, he used the 0. Okay, but Bloodlust is plus 12 damage. We have 8, 10, and then Flame Tongue Totems plus 4. He's 1 damage off lethal.
That is disgusting. Yeah, go face. Why not?
I mean, you still go face,
that place.
absolutely. Oh wait, he's 1 damage over lethal. I can't do math. They're all better than me. All of these players are so much better than me. And that's a quick 2-0 lead from Trung Lee. This is amazing. All Ang has left is his Jade Druid. I put Ang in this exact position last season. I had him against the ropes, all he had was Jade Druid, and he reverse sweeped me in the winter bracket finals last year, or not last year, last quarter.
Yeah, I just want to say, don't let the fact that Trung Lee is up, against Ang distract you from the fact that Oklahoma City Thunder threw a 3-1 lead in the.
I must protect the wild.
Why do I let you on my stream?
I can't do
Just
Why do I
reminding
let you
there,
on my
buddy.
stream? Alright. Well, I mean, Jade Druid definitely can win against any class, and Spreading Plague is fantastic. Now, Ang proves that he isn't a rank 20 Jade Druid player by actually summoning a 1-1. Thank you, Ang. If you shuffle that against an aggro player, or against any player actually, you're just asking to lose. It puts you 1 behind on a Jade Clock, and that is huge. But nope, Ang knows how to play this deck. He's definitely a veteran of Jade Druid. I know because his Jade Druid game fits. But I mean, Trung's off to another explosive start. He has 1 drop into Jade Claws into Flame Tongue. That's pretty much the dream start for that deck. He has Bloodlust on 5. That's all you want to see against Jade Druid. Right now he can Flame Tongue, take the value trade, use the Jade Claws, and still have a solid board developed.
Ang doesn't even have time to play the Jade Blossom. He just desperately needs something on board.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with the Jade Spirit play. You have to contest board against the Shaman. But going into turn 5, ooh, Fandral Staghound's an interesting draw. He does opt for a Jade Blossom instead.
Yeah, this allows him to play Malfurion on turn 7.
This does, in fact, let him play Malfurion next turn. Great call. That being said, the 3/3 does die, so it means that he continues to not be able to contest this Flame Tongue Totem. And now we have a Mana Tide coming down, too.
Oh, that's good.
Man, what a hand from Trung. He has Aya Blackpaw also waiting in the wings. Are you going to see the Malfurion Pestilent drop?
Has to.
Yeah, I do think he has to.
The question is, and Spiders, right? Spiders is the only choice you have.
Taunts? No. I think
No,
it's
you have to go
debatable.
Spiders.
Yeah, he goes for Spiders. Good play. Great play. Spiders is correct. One thing about Malfurion the Pestilent is that Fandral Staghelm affects the hero power. Means that he can hero power for +3/+3 next turn, which is sort of important. Oh, but there's a taunt totem. That is, I mean, I was gonna say it's huge, but it could have been better.
Better than Spell Power.
It could have been Spell Power.
It could be Spell Power, yeah.
Nonetheless, Patches does let him clear off one of these guys.
But this doesn't.
Mana Worm! Mana Worm is disgusting here, and I think he'll trade in the 3/2 for the other spider. Yep. And I mean, the Mana Tide is still going uncontested, so we do have a disgusting Spreading Plague coming up.
Yeah, everyone. I hope you enjoy.
Yep, that's a Snap Spreading Plague, hero power, attack, beautiful. Well sequenced by Ang too. I've seen a player kill the totem first and then spreading. This happened to me in rank 2 legend, or not rank 2 legend, rank 2 ladder, and I was incredibly tilted at the quality of player who can get rank 2 on ladder with Jade Druid. Nonetheless, Ang plays it correctly, and suddenly we have a case where this board suddenly doesn't look so scary. Are we gonna see Bloodlust? Bloodlust is mostly clear.
I can't help but think, yeah, Bloodlust needs to absolutely just bust through this board.
He goes for the coin Bloodlust. Interesting. He didn't need the coin to get his Mana Worm to 5 attack. Just regular Bloodlust would have done it, because it's also a spell. But,
I don't know, but this
Flame
get 2 more mana.
Flame Tongue here does let him clear off 4 totems, which is really huge. And, I mean, this is still definitely a desperate situation for Ang. Ang can clear off the 2-1 with his Scarab and the 2-3 with his hero power, which is important. And that is exactly what he opts to do. He takes 2 damage on his hero rather than Scarab, which I absolutely agree with.
Yeah.
And suddenly, it's looking like Ang stabilized. Spreading Plague, what a balanced card.
Even after
Trung is continuing to pressure on board. He chooses to use hero power rather than Primal Fin, though, which I find interesting. He also opts not to trade for the Jade Golem. This is gonna enable Aang to make some value trades this turn, if he so chooses. I'm interested to see if we're gonna see this Dirty Rat. And Aang plays it safe, he doesn't play the Dirty Rat. While it could hit the Doppelgangster, it could also hit the Eye of Black Paul. Which, I guess Eye of Black Paul is not the worst, it kills the Battle Cry. But you don't really want to give your opponent a free Eye of Black Paul. That being said, Aang's board is starting to look real scary.
Yeah, no, the sprinting played so was absolutely that really took a lot of Chung's work.
I mean, without sprinting play, he might have just straight up died to that Bloodlust. Oh, another taunt. Oh, this is brutal.
That's massive. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, I agree with the +3 attack. Clearing off minions is really important here.
Yeah. Even with the Bloodlust, like surely Aang has to recognize that he has to clear as much as possible this turn.
Nope. Does he have lethal?
Lethal?
He does have lethal.
Wow. Did not even see lethal. Rank 25
Jade
casters,
is one of
guys.
those decks that is deceptively able to murder you. And so that is Shaman gone for Trung. So it's now 2-1. Trung is still in a fairly solid position. But what are Trung's decks? He's running sort of the same Jade Druid list. And let me consult my notes real quick. He's running Temple Secrets Mage. Now, Secret Mage has a pretty solid matchup against Jade Druid. I would say it's actually very strong against Jade Druid. Probably it's one of its stronger meta matchups. And then the Mirror is fairly even, because neither of them are running Medivh or Kun. So neither of them have those huge swing turns. Also, I totally didn't update the deck properly. Oops.
Malfurion versus Jaina.
This is what happens when I have a 6-minute delay and I don't have stream chat to call me out for being bad. And so Aang's deck is in fact not Shaman anymore. It is Jade Druid. In fact, both players are playing Jade Druid. So where is Aang's
no.
Druid?
Chung's actually playing Mage right now.
Oh, right, yeah, Trung's playing Mage. Good call. So, as I said, Trung's Mage is in fact favored against Jade Druid, which is why we're seeing it from him. Although, is that post-mulligan? If that's post-mulligan, that's a very
That's an
starting
absolute
hand.
garbage hand. I am so sorry,
Nope,
Chung.
that is not post-mulligan. Now he has mulligan. That is a solid hand. So one of the big things going for Secret Mage against Jade Druid is that, well, Bittertide Hydra is obviously huge because Druid has no way of clearing big. So I'm interested.
Please play Dirty Rat. Please play the Dirty Rat.
Oh, that would be disgusting. I'm interested to see if he decides to go for Coin Wild Growth here. Coin Wild Growth would enable him to play Jade Blossom next turn, which is interesting. And then he curves into 5 mana. 5 mana without the coin is a little dead. We might just see a Fandral Staghelm. He does go for the Coin Wild Growth. On the other hand, we have a fairly solid hand, but Trung really wants to see Mana Worm here. He doesn't get Mana Worm, he goes for Primordial Glyph. Oh, Glacial Mysteries, please don't pick it, it's so terrible.
Oh, please take Glacial Mysteries.
I would probably go for Mana Bind here. So Mana Bind and Counterspell, and to a lesser extent Spellbender, are really strong against Jade Druid, because you play it going into their turn 10, and suddenly, oh no, I can't play Ultimate Infestation. What do? I can't play the most broken card in the game. Help! Especially now that Druids have cut Innervates, Mana Bind becomes really scary. So he's using Mana Bind here for tempo, letting him get Medivh's Falaise Battlecry off, and I agree with this play. He needs to take control of the board, and this lets him curve in a turn 4 Crystal Runner, turn 5 Hydra. I do really like to see this. Wrath off Mana Bind is fairly solid. It lets him clear things. Oh, that's a hero power.
Huh. Oh boy, that would be dangerous.
I was gonna say, are we gonna see Dirty Rat? Because that is gonna be catastrophic. Nope. Aang plays it safe, Aang plays it smart. So, yep, we are in fact going to see Crystal Runner on 4. If he had 5 mana, he could play Mirror Entity Crystal Runner, but alas, he can only play a 4 mana 5/5. Man, this hand is not looking fantastic. Spreading play for what? I can sort of see this. You lull your opponent into a full sense of security. They flood the board after seeing the Plague, and then you do dirty things to them. But nope, we're just going to see one big fat Bittertide Hydra. I'm interested to see if we see a swipe here.
I don't know if that play was necessarily the best one. Maybe it was just simply to buy a turn because neither of up to a particular guy. But yeah, Aang's just trying to buy turns.
Spreading Plague number 2. I really want to see Mana Worm, Glyph, Wrath, Frostbolt here. Or
I mean,
Mirror
you have so many
Entity.
options
Or
right
Mirror
now.
Entity,
That's
Wrath,
really-
Frostbolt. Something like that.
That's one fat worm.
Yep.
It's gonna even get even bigger.
Yep, it's also gonna let him pound 8 damage to face right now, and he's at a magical 3 minions, which means Mind Control Tech doesn't do anything. He's seen both Spreading Plagues. This is a dominating position from Trung.
Oh wow, yeah. If only I could catch you guys in real life. This is an incredible board state.
Yeah.
He has no need to
Oh
drop
no!
Apprentice.
Dirty Rat! We can see Dirty Rat Mind Control Tech!
Oh yeah. There we go.
Oh, if this pulls the Bitter Tide Hydra, this could be huge! No, it's just the Mana Worm. It's just the Mana Worm. He can buff that up with a Wild Growth, which I think, yep, he's gonna opt to do. But that is much less backbreaking than it could have been. Oh, that's a
it's
good
still
top
second-
deck.
it's still-
I think we're gonna see
it's
Mana
still the second
Worm.
best option.
Yeah. Glyph. Now, Flame
just-
Strike
oh,
could be really
depends what
dangerous
his
from
spell
this Glyph. Or Meteor. Meteor will be fantastic, but alas, he gets a
I
bunch
think
of.
he'll go for
I think he'll go
This
for
is
Polymorph
what you go
here.
for. You no yeah, go
Yeah.
for Morph. You go for Morph. I was just saying there's an argument to be
Yep.
made for but
So in
um
his shoes, I think you just polymorph the Dirty Rat, especially after drawing that Firelands portal, and go the hell face. He impounded
Go face,
16. He impounded 16 damage to face right now. It's very unlikely that Druid clears this board. You've seen one Mind Control Tech in both Spreading Plagues. You can even drop a Mirror Entity to bluff something, to bluff anti Ultimate Infestation secret. Like, I would really like to see that, but I'm not sure I like this play. He
Oh, wow.
opts to trade. I really don't like to see this. Swipe can put Aang back in the game now. You played Jade Spirit, swipe the Mana Worm, suddenly all there's some board is an 8-4. I feel like, I'm not sure. I feel like Aang's starting to lose his claw. I mean, not Aang, Trung is starting to lose his claw. What?
oh wow.
What? Aang concedes! Aang concedes! Oh my! Aang just conceded!
Wow.
Aang just conceded! Trung Lee 3-1 Aang! What an upset!
Wow. I'm
Wow.
gonna go back and look at that board state on that because I
What?
did not think considering
Wow.
was
What just happened there? Aang conceded! What? I don't believe it! I don't believe it! Aang just conceded!
I mean was Bitter Tide did Sweat not get rid of Bitter Tide or was
I
he
mean, no,
was
I mean, it
Bitter
doesn't
Tide
get rid of Bitter Tide, but all Trung has is an 8-4 Bitter Tide. You have Jade Spirit to contest board? I don't believe it! Wow!
I mean, arguably, like with our benefit, we could see Trung had Firelands Portal and Polymorph up, so
Sure, but like,
he's not removal, but
even so, Aang was definitely still in that game. Well, well, that's amazing. We're gonna try to hop into another series now before they're over. So
yeah, hopefully we can sort of get Anna's perspective on that later because I
Yeah.
want to see what he's thinking at that point for him to
so
throw
I'm
the
gonna,
CC out so
I'm gonna
quickly.
try to observe Aaron Shotkin against Ron Eisenband, the second versus the 7th seeds. Let me quickly adjust some, and by quickly I mean slowly, adjust some overlay things.
Please tell me you have the VOD for that because I can't wait to go over it later.
Yeah, I'm storing the VODs for all of these. So we're seeing
Nice.
Ron Eisenband's Evolved Shaman with Death Lord up, Death Knight up rather, versus Quest Mage has drawn a significant portion of his deck. Oh wait, no, he hasn't. He just has a lot of cards in hand. So let me really. So there's the part of the stream I wasn't looking forward to, which is trying to adjust everything on the spot. We have Aaron
Yeah, I
Shotkin. We have.
I just want to take over here. Like, I just want to like point out for the viewers that the Shaman player has a really strong hand here because he has devolve for any like shenanigans the Mage player might pull.
Well, I mean, the Mage player doesn't care about the board. The Mage player is just in this for Exodia.
Yeah, like, there's just quality 7 pieces here.
So let me adjust Aaron Shotkin's deck. We have Aaron Exodia Mage against.
The jungle provides.
Against Ron Shaman and
Does Ron happen to be a fan of BLT sandwiches?
Yeah, I actually wondered that too. Yeah, Ron Eisenband. Please ignore the fact that the name's clipping out of its container. I didn't anticipate a name that long. You know what? I'm just gonna go for Aaron versus Ron.
Aaron seems to be in a quite a strong position right now. He has multiple board clears. He has Blizzard and Master Pro to control the board if he feels like things are getting off control. Just needs to be aware of Bloodlust being a possibility.
Yeah, from the stuff that Aaron mentioned earlier, Ron's Paladin was banned, Aaron's Shaman was banned, and Aaron won with Vigilant Rogue. So let me try to bring the decks up.
Yeah, Aaron demonstrating his great read in the game.
Putting decks up is too much effort. We're just gonna wing it.
I'm just gonna roll.
Aaron is up 1-0.
He's just showing great read of the game because not letting Shaman's board get out of control for Bloodlust, evolution targets.
Absolutely. For Exodia, we're seeing he's 4 out of 6 for Time Warp, but he's still missing Archmage Antonidas. He has 2 Sorcerer's Apprentice and a Simulacrum, but he needs to play as Doomsayer before he can Simulacrum, otherwise... Oh, that's a Nerubian Unraveler! What an evolve!
Wow!
Nerubian Unraveler is so good against Quest Mage! Oh my! That might be the perfect evolve. It does slow down his Bloodlust, but that is an incredible card against Mage.
I hope Aaron has some laxative, because that's some serious constipation right there.
Wait, Aaron says he's up 2-0. Oh my. This means that Ron's on the ropes here. He is in a really good spot because the Nerubian Unraveler is just backbreaking. While,
wow.
Aaron's assembled 4 out of 5 pieces for Exodia, but he needs that Archmage Antonidas, and he understands this. He needs to kill that Nerubian Unraveler. And he needs Ice Block to survive against this board. This is gonna be really dangerous.
Because Aaron has absolutely no board clear.
Right, yep. Now, let's see what Ron has here. So Ron has Bloodlust, which is plus up to 21 damage with Patches the Pirate. That's definitely lethal and able to clear out Doomsayer. Yep, you definitely pop the block. I'm sure Ron right now is just calculating how to pop block at 1 health. Which is actually really difficult when you take into account Bloodlust.
Aaron really needs to drop Blizzard to have a hope of surviving.
Yep, and I'm not
even sure drawing Blizzard helps because the Nerubian is just.
The Nerubian does die to Blizzard, but he needs Blizzard Ice Block.
Yeah, he needs more than that. He needs to cast at least spells, and
it's
not happening.
He's getting popped at 1 while Ron still has the weapon up, and he clears the Doomsayer. Ron does the math appropriately, and this game looks like it's over. He still has the weapon, which is really huge. It's important to preserve the weapon. He also has Jade Lightning. He has 2 ways to get through, and you have to Novice here, or yeah, Cold Light. You're digging for that second Ice Block. You're digging for a Frost Nova. You're digging for some way to stay alive. But Ron has ways to kill him through Frost Nova. Ron has ways to kill him through Ice Barrier. Primordial Glyph for 4, that feels terrible. Meteor, he can't play Meteor!
Wow.
Aaron's done. I don't think Aaron Chalkin can win this game.
I've not seen a case of constipation this bad since last night.
Wow, I did not need to know that. With 2 Sorcerer's Apprentices, he finally gets the coin down to 0 mana and concedes. We are at 2-1.
Good lord.
So
that
the
was an
remaining deck
evolved
for Ron
target
is
and a half.
Shaman. Aaron still has his Warrior and his Hunter. So against Shaman, Shaman's very favored against Hunter, so I'm gonna expect to see Dead Man's Hand Warrior, which is sort of Aaron's favorite deck against this Shaman. In fact, I'm so confident that I'm gonna swap the deck list right now. Aaron Shotgun Warrior. Yep. I absolutely expect we're gonna see Dead Man's Hand Warrior. Aaron's repeatedly told me this is his best deck. This is comfort deck. It's what he uses to climb ladder.
I cannot wait to see this. It like obviously Dead Man's Hand Warrior takes incredible amount of technical skill to pilot, and yeah. Oh wait, no! Wow. Bring out Hunter.
Begin.
Now this is an interesting deck choice, I think, because I feel Shaman has the advantage here against Hunter.
I do too. However, I think we might also be seeing an example of
Blizzard's incredible programming. Yeah.
of spectating is difficult for a small indie company. Yep. I am going to. Oh no, no! It looks like that's just mulligans. Don't worry, everything's fine. Everything's fine. We are a small indie company. So, he's playing Hunter. He's not playing Warrior. I guess he's saving his Comfort Warrior for last. I think it's true. Hunter can sneak out a win against Shaman. I actually managed to pull that off against Aang with the help of him drawing nothing good and me drawing all my early game. But still. So here's an interesting dilemma. Do you use Galaka Crawler knowing that Shaman runs Patches the Pirate? Or do you play Razor Maul on nothing? He plays Razor Maul on nothing. Both these options feel terrible.
I would have taken the risk playing Galaka Crawler because I don't think Patches is particularly threatening.
I think I agree.
I think the value of you get from buffing Galaka with Razor Maul, I think outweighs the risk of Patches Pirate.
I absolutely agree with you. I think he should have held on to Razor Maul. I'm not 100% sure about this play. Nonetheless,
maybe he just wanted the buff from that. Yeah.
Yep. Nonetheless, Aaron does have a very strong curve. He has Unleash the Hounds, which is very strong against Shaman, and I mean he is Hunter.
To be fair,
we're gonna
Ron
see a coin Barnes.
Tonight, a tale of
Let's see what
Coin Barnes out. What's gonna happen? We are gonna get a Primal Fit Totem. That is a really strong Barnes target. But Unleash the Hounds can definitely put a big dent in this board. Unleash the Hounds combined with a Razor Maul trade can clear this off while Bear Shark pushes face. Otherwise, we can also see a big Houndmaster on perhaps the Bear Shark, which does not put it out of range of the Primal Fin. He would have to trade in the Razor Maul too. I think I would rather see Unleash the Hounds here.
Yeah, I just want to go back. I think Aaron actually was right in not playing Galaka Crawler because Ron's list does run double Bloodstone, Corsair, and Patches, and Galaka's Battlecry does thin board.
Right, but I disagree. How I see it is, you're on turn 2 as Aaron Shotkin, and you saw that Ron didn't play turn 1 Bloodstone Corsair. That means he probably doesn't have Patches. In fact, Ron didn't have a 1-drop. So if he doesn't have Patches, you don't hold Galaka Crawler waiting for him to draw a Pirate. The 2-3 is definitely better against Shaman than 3-2. The only thing I can see is maybe he wanted to kill a Primal Fin Totem. Instead, we're going to see some pretty brutal trades with Flame Tongue. Especially if he follows this up with a Jade Claws, that's a board clear right there. And leaving him with a 2-1 weapon and a 1-1 minion that's buffed by Flame Tongue Totem. Suddenly, the tables have turned. I really didn't like that Houndmaster play. I think Unleash the Hounds is much more important. You gotta clear that board.
Yeah, sure. Like obviously the game, but Aaron has to know the way to go is to deprive Shaman of that board. Maybe he feels like he can't really compete with Shaman's combat mechanics, like his weapons. I think he felt like he just need to go face.
I mean, it could also just be inexperienced playing this matchup. Hunter versus Shaman is absolutely a very difficult matchup, and so, I know from Aaron that he mostly plays Dead Man's Hand Warrior on ladder. Perhaps he's just opting to go to sack his Hunter and hope he gets lucky.
I mean, I just don't think you should push for damage that early when you had the option to clear board. Now Ron's in a capture command position.
Yeah, Ron's looking like he's gonna tie up the series. Of course, it's not a foregone conclusion yet. Oh, but that is brutal. Just an empty hero power. I'm also not sure about that. I feel like you have to try to contest board against the Shaman. Like, even if you drop Scalebane and it just trades for 5 health and a 3-1, that's better than just letting Shaman develop his board uncontested. I'm really not sure about these decisions from Aaron here.
What to do?
I feel like Aaron actually plays Scalebane.
Yep, we do have an update from the thread. Rank 3 Kevin Pruitt, 3-0'd rank 6 Andrew Powell. So Andrew did have some of the more unconventional lists we saw, and Kevin's definitely a very strong player, so I'm not entirely surprised to see that result. But a 3-0 is still looking quite dominant from Kevin Pruitt. I'm actually going to ask Kevin what deck he used to just crush crush Andrew's dreams. Well, that's a pretty weak turn from Ron also, just opting the hero power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he was overloaded for one, so he couldn't really play Maelstrom or...
Yeah, it was awkward. But, oh, that's some way he can come.
I think you have to unleash the Hound Scavenging Hyena right now. You can try to drop the Highmane, but Highmane's gonna get traded into by 2 minions and Jade Claws. And obviously we can see the Jade Lightning in Ron's hand, which will punish Scavenging Hyena. But I think you have to contest the board here. Okay, Highmane's not a bad option. Don't get me wrong. Highmane is Highmane. Highmane will always be a good card.
It's not a bad option, but at what point is Scavenging Hyena better? Get better value?
From Ron here, what do you think we're gonna see? Oh, he could play Bloodcell Corsair, pulling Patches the Pirate, putting Sea Giant at 3 mana. Let's see if Ron sees this play. He hero powered first. I'm not sure whether he was digging for a spell power totem for his Maelstrom portals, or whether he saw the Bloodcell Corsair line we did. We do see, of course, that nope.
I think
he opts to trade. He does not. Either he doesn't see the Sea Giant line, or he's just deciding that he doesn't want to opt for it.
I think he was pulling for spell power because spell power Jade Lightning.
No, is he gonna play Corsair now? Without the Sea Giant, this could just be a misplay from Ron. Nope, he opts for a Jade Lightning.
That's
fine, I guess.
That's an odd line. I guess his original line was to dig for spell power totem.
Right,
And he,
dig
I
for
think
spell
he
power, so
realized
Jade Lightning Maelstrom would have been, or he wouldn't have had mana, but Jade Lightning would have definitely been very effective. Oh, well, he does bait out the Galactic Crawler, which is something. This is Cho'in Taunt Yeti, I guess. But
he beat the Galaka. It's just a shame because like clearly Aaron was saving Galaka from turn 1 by not opting to play it, and now Ron still has a pirate package.
so once again, we see Ron fails to dig for Spell Power Totem. He's gonna go for the Maelstrom play anyways. Maelstrom lets it... Oh, this is also sort of awkward. He doesn't have a great way to trade into this board.
Unleash is coming.
Yeah, we are gonna see the the Sea Giant. And I'm
Jade
guessing...
Giant. No,
yeah,
that
Jade
would be
Giant.
annoying.
I'm guessing we're gonna see the Heal Stream Totem and Jade Golem trade in. It's gonna be a little awkward. Now, let's see how ambitious. Ooh, Deadly Shot's a huge draw.
Wow.
Oh my, 8 mana,
Wow.
Scavenging Hyena, Unleash the Hound's Deadly Shot. Unleash the Hounds lets you kill the Stoneclaw Totem and the Leper Gnome. The Hyena's gonna get a ton of health, and the Deadly Shot clears out the Giant. This is an enormous swing turn! And we can see there's no Devolve in Ron's hand. I mentioned earlier that one of the ways that Hunter can win this matchup is just by getting a huge Hyena without Devolve on the other side. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Next turn he can Razor Maul into Wind Fury and just win the game outright. Or even Razor Maul in a +3 attack right now looks awful. Oh, but that's a top deck Jade Lightning. That is huge. I think in this situation, you can roll for... So if you roll for Spell Power, he's rolling for Spell Power again. There's an alternative line we're trying to go for Patches the Pirate, and with Patches the Pirate, you can guaranteed clear this board, including the Houndmaster. I think I would have actually liked to see that. But nonetheless, Maelstrom Portal is going to guarantee you a partial clear here. He does smartly Jade Lightning before Maelstrom Portal. I've definitely seen players make that mistake before and buff the Hyena even more and then cry. So it's good to see that he did not make that error there. Oh, is he debating not using Maelstrom? I think maybe he was debating pulling Patches. And there's a Pirate. It's really weird to see Ron Eisenband choosing not to commit that Patches to Pirate. I feel like he would have had a better turn just clearing the Houndmaster. Instead, I think we're gonna see Highmane and a Death come out. Wind Fury, Stealth, and Death Route. I think we go for Stealth here. Actually,
clearly you go for Wind Fury. Are you kidding me?
Actually, yeah, you go for Wind Fury. You're right. We've already seen so much removal from Shaman. He's not had Devolve. It's pretty obvious he's not had Devolve, and he can't clear with the board. We've seen at least one Flame Tongue Totem. It's just whether or not he's worried about Bloodlust, and whether or not he goes for a Wind Fury and he opts to trade. I do like this play. I think if you go for stealth, you can go face, put him on 12, 6 hits in the face, and you can put him on a very desperate clock.
I'm sorry, what? Trading as Hunter? Dan's game?
Yeah, I mean, you want to protect the Wind Fury high main. That thing's gonna pound in so much damage. You see, this is a pretty dead hand from Ron. I think this might be, yep, this is gonna be Patch's Bloodlust.
I'm in charge now.
So this is sort of an ugly Bloodlust. It's not a great clear unless he opts to take 6 in the face. Either way, we're gonna see Ron taking a lot of damage here. He could kill off the entire board. No, not the entire board. He could kill off everything but a 2/2 while taking 6 in the face.
There's little time.
Oh wait, no, he doesn't need to do that. He can just trade off those 2 minions, and yeah, he only needs to take 2 in the face. This is a very strong clear. I'm interested to see whether... No, he's gonna save that evolve for the Doppelgangster, I think. He is thinking about it. But he lets the rope burn out. Well, there's a pretty obvious double Scalebane. Double Scalebane has some incredible synergy going on. And I think I would like to see him trade. Yeah, value trade. I thought about the face play, but it is nice. This ensures that you can't use minions to trade into the Scalebane. And Scalebane buff's going Scalebane buff. So we're almost definitely going to see Doppel evolve here. You have to question whether or not you trade off for the 5/1. I think you have to. But at this point, you pretty much have to Doppel evolve and dig for a taunt.
Yeah, like there's
hero
a source
power Doppel evolve.
I wonder.
At 6 mana, we do have some pretty strong taunts. We have Sunwalker, we have Dark Arakoa. I know this because I got evolved into a Sunwalker and 2 Dark Arakoas once and threw my laptop across the room. But, so yeah, he opts to kill the 5/1. This means that if he gets a taunt with Doppel evolve, he's no longer staring down lethal. There's also Argent Commander, which could have been a factor. Argent Commander isn't going to help here unless he gets multiples.
Alright, let's see.
And he gets a Dark Arakoa!
Oh,
And
wow!
oh, that is a fantastic evolve!
That's huge!
And Alley Cat's an awful draw! Oh no! This is suddenly turned around. Doppel evolve was one of the most scary plays in the game, and now we see why. So,
Let's go face.
Yep, you have to go face.
It's a clock.
Put him at
It's all
7.
clock.
Oh no! I really disagree with playing the Alley Cat here. Now top deck kill command's not lethal. I really don't like playing the Alley Cat here. Like, Alley Cat's not gonna contest this board. You keep Alley Cat and go for the kill command lethal. Oh no! At this point, you have to play for your outs, and I think kill command lethal is his out.
Golems are a girl's best friend.
You can't
I
help
mean,
but feel
this-
like there's...
This does enable a Bone Mare lethal if Ron gets greedy and doesn't clear, but I think Ron knows what a dominant position he's in. He's gonna clear this board. And I mean, we're staring down... Oh my, we're staring down 24 damage on board. I would... But there's 4 minions! I think hero powering was a mistake! He's now dead to Unleash the Hounds, number 2. This is definitely a game where we've been seeing some subtle misplays from both players, perhaps some inexperience in this matchup, or maybe just tournament jitters. At this point, Ron's committed. He knows if he Unleashed the Hounds. Oh no! And
Oh wow!
what a top deck!
Oh! Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
What a top deck!
Aaron did!
What
That's incredible!
top deck!
Wow! 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 Unreal. No, that was a photo finish if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, that was utterly
Um,
fantastic. Wow. That is brutal. And so we have a 3-1 win for Aaron Shotkin, triumphing over the 7th ranked Ron Eisenband. So we've seen one upset so far in the form of Chung Lee defeating Ang Lee, but other than that, everything's looking pretty good. So all we have left is the 4th seed Suheeb Alsasan versus the 5th seed Logan Gore. So we're gonna hop into that game since that's the last remaining series. And let me.
If anything, it's interesting to note that Ron's misplay didn't actually cost him the game there.
Yeah. It almost did. Wait, no, Ron's misplay did cost him the game. Aaron's misplay didn't. Because he didn't draw a kill command, but Ron made the misplay of having too many minions on board.
No, I mean, even with 1 minion less, Aaron had
he played the Blood Cell Corsair at the end, but if he didn't hero power, he would have had 4 minions on board, putting him out of range of Unleash, but 23 damage, threatening lethal. Anyways, we have Suheeb's Control Warlock, the only player to play the Warlock here. Let me load up his deck list real quick.
So kind of you to join me.
And we're seeing Blood Reaver Godan and Medivh looking at a real powerful, some real powerful. I am not loading the correct thing. One sec.
Yeah, it's interesting to see like Control Warlock just try and go toe to toe with like J-Drew, like 2 absolutely like late game decks, trying to outvalue the other. I don't know how many copies of like Spreading Plague has been played already, but if the Druid player doesn't have any right now, then Warlock's in a commanding lead.
Yep, this is looking dangerous for Logan in the top left. Or at the top, rather. So one interesting thing is that I really need to pull these deck lists up. Give me a second. Logan is running a more aggressive style of Jade Druid with a lot of tokens. Logan just informed me that the last game is 2-2 for all the marbles, and it looks like Suheeb's in a powerful spot right now. He's actually very close to lethal just then. Actually, with 11, 15, 18, he was 1 damage off lethal.
Wow.
No, he had lethal. He had lethal with Atiash. Suheeb missed lethal.
Oh, missed legal. That's
think.
Criminal.
I mean, I've already proven this stream that I don't know how to do math anymore, so I could just be mistaken. But I am finally loading the decks on. You can see a more aggressive Jade Druid list from Logan that has a lot of the token tech. While Suheeb is a very traditional control warlock, which I am loading.
Crucially, Logan does not run Spreading Plague in his deck.
That is really crucial. It makes sense because he's opting for a more board strategy, but also, do we just have a floating Shattered Earthen Ring Forest here? Oh no.
Yeah.
Do we have the spectate bug? I think we have the spectate bug.
Yeah, I think it's like a bug.
That's unfortunate. But yeah, that we'll see if that miss lethal comes to bite Suheeb in the rear.
I don't think so. But again, this just demonstrates the weakness of the Druid and with the ability to deal with big boards. Spreading Plague was supposed to mitigate that, but the exclusion of that card means all he has is swipe to fall back on. Which he absolutely does not. I mean, does spreading infestation really save him at this point?
I'm actually starting to wonder if anything can win Logan the game at this point. He's staring down a really, really scary board. So Ultimate Infestation, he opts not to go for it. Oh no, he's staring down 9, 10, 13, 14.
Masterful.
He's staring down lethal on board and Logan concedes. He definitely should have UI'd against the Medivh. I don't think he would have won either way, but it's worth a try. And so Suheeb 3-2's Logan Gore.
Ooh, close series.
So let's pull up the bracket. Let's see if I might need to refresh this. And so here we are. In the second round, we're gonna have both the upper bracket round 2 and the lower bracket round 1, and we're probably going to jump into Aaron Shotkin versus Kevin Pruitt here.
Nice.
And Logan is currently lamenting the fact that he has to play Aang due to that upset by Trung. It's definitely not going to be a happy time.
Can't even catch a break.
Yep. So I'm gonna quickly try to set up the scene for for Aaron Shotgun versus Kevin Pruitt, our second and third seeded players. Let's see if I can start to switch this over more quickly than before. So at the top we'll have Kevin P. Bottom we'll have Aaron.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like again, after this, I want to go back to Aang's game and to just review his last match because I feel he had an out there.
Yeah, that was definitely a tilt concede. So at the top left, or at the top, we'll have Kevin Pruitt. And see the deck list soon enough. I'm also gonna load up their class lists. So at the bottom we have Aaron, who's running Aaron is running Shaman, Hunter, Mage, and Warrior. So Shaman. I'm also starting to lose my voice. It's probably because I'm sick, but I'm sure the shouting for the last hour and a half has not helped me any. So, in the first round, anything jump out at you with the games? Anything surprise you?
With the ones we've seen so far?
Yep.
I'm going to look back at it, but again, the standout for me was Aang and Chung's series. Another thing I want to take the game we just saw between I think it was Logan and
Suheeb?
because Suheeb, because I think that that last one was a Hunter versus
No,
actually no, it was
that was
Aaron
Warlock
Ron.
versus Druid.
That was Aaron Ron with Hunter
Yeah.
Shaman, because I think that could have been played very differently by either set of players.
Yep. In the end, it definitely ended up working out for Aaron there. Although he definitely had to roll pretty high to get there. Anyways, let's see the list that Mr. Pruitt is running. Mr. Kevin Pruitt is running Mage, Priest, Rogue, and Shaman. So we have Mage, Priest, Shaman as they replaced Druid with Rogue.
Later, I do want to see how that matchup between the Rogue and the Temple Mage went. Or was it just like a series of bad draws that allowed Mage to take an unfavored matchup?
Unfortunately, I don't. We're probably not gonna have that deck on, or we're probably not gonna have that game on video, which makes me a little sad. But we will make do with what we have.
I guess we just asked him about it.
Kevin Pruitt is expressing in chat that I believe that Warlock deck looks hideously greedy, and I do agree. But that Warlock deck outvalued Jade Druid. Alright. So while we're waiting to go into round 2, yeah, we've seen a lot of interesting things in round 1. Let's just take a quick look at, I guess, the matchups for this round. And perhaps also let's take a look at the matchups. We have Shaman, Hunter, Dead Man's Hand, Warrior, and Quest Mage against Highlander Priest, Evolve Shaman, Aggro Druid, and Secret Mage. What do you think? Are you there? Did we lose Chester? We may have lost our esteemed co-caster on this fine day. That would be unfortunate. Oh, no, he said he's gonna be right back. He'll be muted. That's fine. I'll launch into a little bit of analysis on my own, I guess. let's see. Some of my notes for Aaron says that his lineup in general has some worries against aggressive decks, and we see 3 of them from Kevin Pruitt. We see the Tempo Mage, the Aggro Rogue, and the Evolve Shaman. And so, if the Dead Man's Hand Warrior gets banned out, I think I will be a little concerned for Aaron that some of his decks might be too slow to deal with Kevin's aggressive lists. On the other hand, for Kevin, I think we have a very balanced lineup there. We are seeing sort of Tempo Mage instead of the traditional Jade Druid, but I think that actually puts him at an advantage against Aaron, because Aaron's decks are perhaps more favored or more tech to deal with some of the slower decks in the meta. So it looks like we're still waiting for bans to happen. Kevin Pruitt's still hanging on the main menu. So I guess we shall wait.
Yeah, hi, back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, no, I did catch what actually there. Like, Kevin's definitely the more traditional one. To be fair, Aaron is running both aggro-oriented and heavily control-oriented lineups.
Yep.
So I guess like it'll be up to see how his decks can handle matchups that aren't favored against there.
What bans do you think we're gonna see before the players enlighten us as to as to what they're going for?
Ooh, bans. I think Kevin knowing Aaron might ban Dead Man's Hand Warrior just because of Aaron's familiarity with that deck, and especially if he's not sure how to play against it. So I think Warrior's getting banned for Aaron.
Right.
And,
on the other side, I think Aaron's going to ban out Rogue. I think I had a small chat with Aaron in the pre-games before before the matches started, and he expressed concerns with the Rogue matchup. I know he didn't ban Rogue against Ron Eisenband, opting to ban the Paladin instead, which is also a very good ban. But I think the Rogue ban against this lineup makes sense. Rogue is definitely Kevin Pruitt's strongest aggro deck, and it is, in my opinion, the deck that overall, other than maybe Zulok, which isn't played in this entire tournament, that Aaron has the worst matchup against. I would be very surprised not to see a Rogue ban coming out from Aaron.
Yeah, none of Aaron's decks really deal well with like Rogue's insane aggression. Arguably, you would think Warlock might have a chance, but then you see Aaron's Warlock list is like heavily value oriented. It's been on the heavy side.
So we were right. I just got news from Aaron that Aaron banned Rogue and Kevin banned Warrior. Damn, we're good.
Yeah. But I think those were the most reasonable bans.
Oh, absolutely. So it looks like we're just waiting for the 2 players to enter their game, and then we'll be ready. Soon, TM.
The interesting here, again, I think we'll have to see how Kevin's decided lack of spreading play is going to hurt him in this series against Aaron. Because especially with Warrior ban, spreading play may not have been good against Warrior, but
he's not playing Jade Druid, bro. He's not playing Druid.
Oh, he's not. Oh, wow. Sorry, no.
The deck list are just outdated because we haven't hopped into game 1 yet.
Oops, my bad. Wow, got Druid in my mind.
Yeah.
versus Rexa.
Alright, Kevin Pruitt is excited to be on stream, and we're seeing Priest versus Hunter. So, let me pull up the deck list real quick. On the right side, the bottom right, we have Aaron Shotgun playing Hunter.
And Kevin on Priest.
Yep, so my computer is lagging right now, which is excellent. Aaron Shotgun, Hunter.
I like how we're referring them to their actual names, not their handles.
Yeah, I'm bad with handles. And so, top left, we have Highlander Priest from Kevin Pruitt. So you can see from this Hunter list that it's one that runs Bear Shark, and so that automatically makes me favored against Priest. And then add that to the fact that I have the players on the wrong side too. I'm gonna have to go out and respec in a second. Kevin Pruitt.
Yeah,
Alright.
Northshire coming out.
Or I guess we can just pretend that I have all the... Nah, I'll hop out in the early game. Northshire is really strong in the early game, but we're seeing a fantastic curve coming out of Mr. Aaron Shockman here. I'm just gonna quickly reset the spectate. I forgot that Aaron is in fact the higher seeded player and therefore should be on the bottom.
Yeah, Yellow Pig just able to get a crackling Razormon value on his Alley Cat. And we just see what what adaptation he got, because...
Yep, so it does look like
yeah.
we did not miss much, and he pulled a Hyena from Glimmerroot. It would amuse me if Glimmerroot didn't work. Looks like he got +1/+1 on his Alley Cat, but those monsters! He had to trade in his Tabby Cat into the Northshire Cleric. Oh, that is shameful.
Wow. Trading wrong cat. What's up with you?
Technically traded the correct cat, or he evolved the wrong, or adapted the wrong cat. All right, Kazakus, I'm expecting. Ooh, we're seeing a 1 mana. No, that's the 5 mana potion coming out. He doesn't get the AOE. Are we gonna see deal 5 damage, or are we gonna see freeze 2?
You can't help but think deal 5 has to be the correct choice here.
And it looks like he went for deal 5 damage. Now, if I'm Aaron here, I would try to buff up the Alley Cat. I would have actually thought about Houndmaster, but he rolls +3 attack. You definitely go for +3 attack and preserve the Bear Shark in this matchup, and he does. Play the Hyena, and this is a dominant looking board from Mr. Shotgun in the bottom. However, we do see Dragonfire Potion in Kevin Pruitt's hand. He might use the Kazakus Potion to... Yep, he's going to use Kazakus Potion to clear off the Hyena this turn, and... there's no good way for Aaron to buff his Bear Shark out of range. He can't play Cobalt Scalebane, which will survive the Dragonfire, and that is in fact what he's going for. And he's pounding in 7 damage, which is really big right now. He's gonna get 5 more guaranteed next turn after the Dragonfire. And let's see, we see Auchenai drawn, but no Circle, so no way to combo with Auchenai. We're gonna have to see, I think, Dragonfire out of Kevin Pruitt.
Yeah, Dragonfire.
Otherwise, he's going to lose the game straight up. So this Scalebane is going to be able to pump in a lot more damage. The Priest player is getting a little precariously low. I also have his deck not set up properly because Highlander Priests are obnoxious and their deck lists are way too long.
Yeah, Yellow Pig just throwing out Dragonfire is the only option he really has left. But now Random One able to get...
Random One's on the top. But another Bear Shark is a huge draw here. Yeah, Random One's the Priest player. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really big Bear Shark. He opts to go for the Alley Cat. Oh, it buffs the Bear Shark. That's incredible.
Oh, that's massive.
Spirit Lash Heal loses. Spirit Lash Heal doesn't do anything. Priest of the Feast Spirit Lash will save him, I think. No, it won't. Houndmaster will be lethal, I think. Yeah, Priest of the Feast Spirit Lash is going to clear the 2 and heal 5. That puts him on 15. 18 with the Priest of the Feast. He has 12. No, Priest of the Feast Spirit Lash puts him out of range. This will be huge, because then Shadow Reaper Anduin will come down and clear out both the Scalebane and the Bear Shark. Priest of the Feast Spirit Lash, and I think we're going to see the Priest player stabilize here. What a disgusting, scummy deck.
Incredible, skillful deck. I applaud you, Random One.
And that's exactly the play that Kevin Pruitt goes for. Clearly a veteran of piloting this deck, puts himself back up to 18 health, just out of range. We did not see a top deck kill command, therefore he is not dead. Houndmaster Hero Power does puts him at 12, 14, 16 damage. He opts to drop the High Main instead, which I do like this play. There's a little more resilient against Shadow Reaper. Nonetheless, his board's gonna get cleared. All he's gonna have is 2 2/2s. Silence! What a top deck!
Oh,
Shadow Reaper is a board clear! He says 11 health and 5 armor now!
Absolutely.
That is disgusting! And Yellow Pig, Aaron Shotgun does not have a hand that can contest against Shadow Reaper. But he top decks High Main! Oh my, we're just seeing really great top decks back to back. Yep, steady shot High Main. The one thing with Shadow Reaper Anduin is that Priest does lose the ability to Hero Power. He also hasn't played Raza yet. Shadow Word Pain is worthless right now. I think we might see a Prophet Valiant just to contest the board. He doesn't have a way to kill off the High Main.
Yeah, crucially, Random One does not run Golden Healing, Greater Healing Potion.
Yep, he does not run Greater Healing Potion. That's correct. So he is out of heals.
Darkness speaks to me.
Yeah, his Priestess Feast is done. He's used Spirit Lash. He's out of heals. He only has Binding Heal remaining in his deck. That is his only heal. Oh, does he have a disgusting ping clear? Let's see. Ping, Hyena, ping, that's 6. No, he doesn't have enough mana to ping down the high main. He doesn't have any good way to do it.
Wow, just too much inevitability coming out from Yellow Pig. Especially with if he can make something stick, especially with Hamas coming down, I think it's over for. Yeah, Priest just does not have any heals in order to keep up with Hunter's consistent damage. And he's nowhere near getting off the random machine gun off Hunter.
Yep, so the high main survives the turn. I think right now, yep, I think you drop everything as the Hunter. You're all in here.
Yeah. Huffer's coming down.
Nope,
Huffer
that is
oh,
not
wait,
Huffer.
no.
Bug! Blizzard, I'd like to report a bug. My Huffer gave me a 4/4 taunt instead. And he does opt not to use Unleash the Hounds. I guess I'm fine with this. It puts the Priest on 4 health, and you can still Unleash the Hounds next turn, potentially. And, oh my, I think
that's
Kevin
my
Pruitt's
best.
dead. Kevin Pruitt's dead.
Yeah, that's too little too late.
Yep, he needed Circle Heal here. That was his only out. He's gonna go for it. Holy Smite's not it. I think he should have traded into the high main rather, because Circle Heals is out. He is gonna go ooh, a Pyro Clear could be interesting here. I think you Pyro Holy Smite the high main. And okay, yeah, he'll have 5 mana remaining here. You can still draw into Circle Heal.
One wonders what could have happened if he only had Raza up and for that free heal power.
Yep, Doomsayer
Because
won't
a
do
lot
it
more
either.
damage.
This is game over, maybe. He has one more chance. That's not it either. Wait, he can ping down the remaining minions, but he is on such a desperate clock. He opts not to play the Radiant Elemental, probably smart. Oh. Yep.
Oh,
he is on a 2-turn clock here. He needs to draw... Kevin Pruitt needs to draw, well, yeah, his only out is Binding Heal. That's the only heal remaining in his deck. He does not run Cabal Career, so he has no way of discovering a heal. He's used Kazakus already. His only heal remaining is Binding Heal. Velen Binding Heal obviously could put him out of range. And Shotgun just ends the turn. No reason to commit anything. And the circle comes one card too late. Oh, that is painful.
That's the wrong healing.
He probably would have lost anyways, but this is brutal.
The end is coming!
Is he gonna ping himself? Commit honorable Sudoku? No, he's just gonna concede.
There it is.
And we see the strongest deck in the meta, Highlander Priest, lose to Hunter, which this is one of Hunter's good matchups.
Yeah, just putting out enough aggression just for when Priest is unable to put together combo piece.
Yep. And so the oops, that's the wrong player. Top left. And Priest falls. We see Aaron Shotgun's continuing his dominance with his offbeat lineup, which I love to see. I love to see Hunter's doing well. I would really love to see Dead Man's Hand Warrior. I'm really sad to see that it's been banned. But nonetheless, Aaron's continuing to play really well here. And Hunter's continuing to pull him out miracle finish after miracle finish.
Now here's an interesting matchup. It's gonna be Hunter versus Shaman.
So Shaman is definitely very favored here. I'm interested to see whether or not Aaron chooses to keep Unleash the Hounds, and he does. Shaman mulligans and pulls Primal Fin Totem, which is very strong. But we do have turn 1 Alley Cat, which is by far Hunter's. Oh, he gets Firefly off the top. That's just disgusting. I need to update deck list too.
That fixes his admittedly awkward hand and puts him in a great starting position against
Firefly's disgusting.
Hunter.
It's interesting to see him opt for Jeweled McCall over Alley Cat. I would rather try to have a Beast Stick in case you draw Razor Maw, but I guess it's sort of fine either way. Let's see, Kevin is now playing Shaman.
And now we just see the problem here in the matchup, because Shaman now has explosive start against Hunter. It could be incredibly difficult for Hunter to catch him on board without timely use of Unleash.
Yep. Traditionally, Hunter has always struggled when it's behind on board. It's always struggled against decks that are faster. That top deck patches is not going to help our Shaman player here, though. Jade Claws is. We're gonna see
Yeah,
another
get-
clear
get
from
fucking
the.
down.
We're gonna see another clear coming out from Kevin Pruitt while he maintains his board lead, and the Primal Fin just keeps pumping out more dudes.
Yeah, the longer the Primal Fin goes on uncontested, the longer Shaman can sort of like hold out until his cards go online. Because right now his hand is looking kind of awkward. Just Devolve, Aya, and like Patches. It's a
I
pretty
think I-
awkward hand. Which
I agree. Yep. As expected, we see the Eagle Horn come out, and oh, I like this play. He's setting up for Hyena Coin Unleash next turn. The cheese. If there's a 1/1 totem, this could be huge. It's a 1/1 totem.
wow.
It's a
Oh,
disaster.
oh no!
It's a disaster! Hyena Coin Unleash is going to get him
What are
4
you
buffs!
doing?
It's going to
What
go
are
to
you doing?
10-6! The bow lets him clear out the Primal Fin right after! This is incredible!
Okay. No, it's okay. He has to devolve. He has to
He does
devolve.
have devolve.
Randomly-
That's right, he does have Devolve. He does have Devolve. Everything's
Oh.
fine. False alarm, guys. False alarm. Everything's fine.
Disaster averted.
Disaster averted. But this is one of the things I mentioned previously as the win condition for Hunter in this matchup. Hunter really needs to pull off a crazy Hyena, and he got it. Unfortunately, Devolve in Kevin Pruitt's starting hand, and that's gonna be a snap Devolve. And that's a Weasel Tunneler. The memes.
That's Weasel
It's a
Tunneler.
beast. It is a beast.
You laugh, but then
It's a dead beast.
oh,
Kevin
it's a
Pruitt
dead beast,
recognizes that's a beast, and he says, "I'll take that. No Houndmaster for you." Well, Bear Shark's very strong here. It's resistant Jade Lightning, but
can I
no,
just say
I
how
like the
actually
scale bait.
interesting the devolve was?
Yeah, the
can I just
devolve
point
was
out-
sickening. That was a game-winning devolve. But I still
Can I also
absolutely,
point out?
I absolutely agree with
So I
how Aaron played that. I think he was playing to his outs as one of the only ways you win in this matchup, and so I think he played it correctly. He just got unlucky there.
Yeah, if that's to play correctly, but I just want to say devolve as a card should never exist. At
Oh
2
yeah.
mana.
Oh yeah. Or in Shaman. So here,
Just plug in my biases here.
here, I think if you're Aaron, I think you pop the Bear Shark and Hero Power and just go face. You're not gonna save your minions unless you do something awful like kill Command the Tutu. I think you start pounding in damage. You take it. Oh no, he's gonna kill Command the Tutu. He really wants to preserve that Cobalt Scalebane. Well, I would have liked to see him pound 9 damage to face, maybe. He's clearing everything.
Oh wow!
Because if you
that's-
pound 9 to face, you take advantage of the fact that Shaman doesn't have any healing in that deck. On the other hand, we can see that Patches the Pirate's gonna clear the Scalebane, right? I guess, yeah, by either Patches, any Pirate, or Maelstrom Portal, or Jade Claws could kill that Scalebane. I think you just take the face damage up front.
You're just gonna play evolve here. That's the question.
I don't
I
think
think
you
you-
evolve here. Yeah, I think you hold the
No.
evolve. I've never been great at playing that deck, but
Oh.
so we're gonna see Bone Mare here, unless he wants to opt for the Hail Mary 1 and 4 Deadly Shot, which I'm not
Is
entirely opposed
inadvisable.
to. I am not entirely opposed to. This is such a brutal matchup, and now that he's lost the board and hasn't done noticeable face damage, I think he's going for it, and it whiffs. It whiffs horribly. It whiffs horribly. He plays a Tempo Houndmaster. Bone Mare wouldn't have done much better. Bone Mare would have had to traded for the thing from below and two Fireflies. But either way, he's in a brutal situation now. I don't think any top deck's gonna bail him out like last time. Houndmaster does stick, so we're gonna see Bone Mare, snap drop, go face, go face. That's right. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Thrall Deathseer. Are we gonna see a huge evolve? Are we
Wow.
gonna see Unlicensed
See-
Apothecary and a throw?
No, they fixed that. Remember, they fixed the interaction.
No, they fixed it with Evolve. I don't think they fixed it Deathseer. I had a Shaman blow up himself 2 days ago against me, or a week ago or something. Might have fixed it. I'm not sure. Kevin Pruitt's definitely
it has to
considering
come
it.
down, right? It has to come down, right? Or
Yep, he's going
yeah,
for
it's
it.
coming down.
He chooses not to drop the Primal Fin, which I think I agree with. Or do I? I'm not sure. I probably.
He doesn't need to. He doesn't need Primal
He
Fin.
saves enough mana for Transmute Spirit. I think you transmute
Oh.
up the Marabi. That's a really cruddy. He decides to go for another 6 drop. Dread Infernal's good. Animal
Offer.
Companion. Oh, that's a misplay. He could have gotten Leok. Unless he's saving it for a kill command? I think that he definitely went a little too quickly on that one.
Hopper.
I mean, yeah, he could just. Oh wait, yeah, it's just Huffer. Never mind, I forgot. Yep, it's just Huffer. So our Shaman player is now on a 3-turn clock. On the other hand, he does have 14 damage on board, 16 with the Jade Claws, 17 Questing, 18 Primal Fin. The Shaman player is actually only 3 off lethal himself.
He's only 3 off lethal stuff, but he has his Devote Time to clear. And Ash will surely buy.
So I think you trade the Emperor Cobra into the Bone Mare. It's gonna die anyways. Bone Mare's like the top of the curve.
Huh.
Right?
Ooh, I'm not sure about this. He dies to Unleash.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's dead to Unleash anyways. Are we
Sure.
gonna see another crazy Unleash top deck? Oh god, please. Oh, please. Oh, please.
He has 3 outs. He has Unleash. He has 4 outs. He's Animal Companion. He has he's Eagle Horn Bro as well. He's Eagle Horn Kill Command.
Yep.
Unleash, Animal Companion, and
No.
Jewel McCall into
No,
cards.
Kill Command and Animal Companion won't do it. He's on a clock himself.
Animal Companion would do it. Animal Companion would do it.
Oh wait, Huffer. Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant Eagle Horn and Kill Command.
Eagle Horn would do it.
Eagle Horn won't do it.
Oh!
It's 1 off lethal. He is
Oh
1
my
off
God.
lethal. There is no Unleash top deck to tell about this time.
Oh!
And the
Wow.
Heroic Hunter finally goes down. Kevin Pruitt's definitely happy about this one. And we see a BM Bloodlust.
Oh, the BM coming out. Oh, that is completely uncalled for. Ah!
Nah, that's totally called for. Kevin Pruitt is a notable hater of the Hunter class. He gave me a lot of crap last tournament about running Hunter. Which gives you a lot of satisfaction
Incredible.
for, you know, calling out his mage. But in any case, Kevin Pruitt definitely is not a fan of aggressive decks, and this is one of the biggest. That being said, it's incredible how close Aaron came to winning that
Hunter
deck. Winning that game.
Hunter almost took the game there, right at the very end.
Yep.
This shows you like Hunter's incredible burst potential.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I still feel like if he opted to go face a little earlier that game, he could have just gotten through. I question his decision to trade on that turn.
It was a turn with Scalebane, wasn't it? He traded with Scalebane. I can't help but feel he pushed at least just 1 minion to face, he would have won.
Thrall versus Thrall.
For Doomhammer. For the Frost.
And now we have
And
Shaman
we have a
against Shaman.
Mirror, yep. We've seen this a lot in the last couple of days. Let me bring up the deck list for for Aaron's Shaman real quick. I feel like every time I try to change images, OBS gets a little slower.
Avast, matey. I'm in charge now.
Oh, that's a pretty solid start from Aaron. And why do I not have Kevin's? What? Small indie dev? Hello? Hello? I'm definitely opting. I guess I gotta account for a second. Small indie dev.
Avast, matey. I'm in charge.
Well, we've seen patches come out from both players here. And there we go. That Maelstrom portal is going to be really huge for Aaron going forward. I'm actually surprised he didn't Maelstrom there. And now we have an uncontested Mana Tide. We actually have really similar starting hands from both players, but looks like Kevin's in a pretty good position on the board right now. And Spectate Bug is back. Small indie dev. How's everything going on your end? Hope you're You're just enjoying watching me struggle with Hearthstone? Or is your internet doing nasty things to you? Alright, it does appear that I've lost my co-caster for the time being. So that Manatite thing from below is going to be really good for, or looks really good for Aaron here, but we see Jade Lightning in Kevin Pruitt's hand, and so he's going to be able to clear... Oh, but he's not going to be able to clear off the Manatite. That's actually really big. There's no way of clearing off the Manatite. In fact, with 2 Bloodlusts in hand, I wonder if it might have been possible to use Bloodlust so that you can deny the draws. But in any case, he has a very strong board. 2 Bloodlust and Thrall. Deathseer, I believe it's called. Won't let me highlight the card, but probably Thrall Deathseer in hand. Yeah, Thrall Deathseer. While Aaron's hand's looking sort of awkward. Evolves into a bunch of beautiful penguins and drops double Primal Fin to try to populate his own board up. The Manatite surviving that turn does let him draw into Bone Mare going to turn 7, looks really good. But on the other hand, Bloodlust, Maelstrom's a great top deck. Bloodlust will only give plus 15 damage, putting him at 21, 8 off lethal. I think we're gonna see Manatite Maelstrom Portal and board clear here. Definitely don't want to let these Primal Fins stay in and accrue too much value. And so yeah, and now he has 7 damage on the board plus Bloodlust. That's 21 damage. That's 28, and that would have been lethal had Jade Lightning and Jade Claws knocked him out. So Aaron here puts him out of lethal range, but he's still not out of the woods. There's still 2 plus 4, 6 damage plus 15, 21 damage on board. We're gonna see the board continuously get cleared so that there's no good Bone Mare turn. And he's gonna shuffle Weasel to learn to the opponent deck. I wonder.
I feel like.
Hey, welcome back.
I feel like he should win based on the fact that Kevin has 2 Snow Flipper Penguins.
I mean, also, he has 8 cards in hand as opposed to 3 and the board. Like Kevin Pruitt's in a dominating position. I wonder. Oh, he's just gonna go for a Deathseer. I was gonna think whether or not he's just gonna drop Doppelgangster for a crazy evolve next turn. Deathseer is perfectly reasonable here. He can evolve up the Snowbolt or evolve Kobold into something. Kodo's some pretty bad cards, but I mean, Bloodlust is Bloodlust.
Yeah, me Yellow Pig absolutely has no way to get me in.
5, 7. Ooh, Taunt Totem's nice. Jade Lightning lets him clear off the Kodo, and he chooses not to evolve here. Let's see, 2 plus 4, 10. Yeah, there's only 10 damage. He doesn't have mana for double Bloodlust yet. But I think we're gonna see a Doppel evolve coming in here. Wow, and in a big upset, Logan Gore 3-2 over Ang Lee. The tournament favorite, the top seed Ang Lee, has fallen out in last place.
Wow.
That was not expected at all.
Huh.
That's brutal. It just goes to show in Hearthstone, anything can happen. Both Logan and I picked Ang Lee to win this entire thing at the start of this, and now we're here. On the other hand, Aaron Shotkin is staring down an impossible board state. The Devolve isn't even helping. Jade Spirit is just, or Jade Serpent, Jade Spirit, guide me, whatever. Lord Walker is just a meme. Bloodlust is gonna come out and blow him right out of this game.
Jade broke back.
Jade
right?
Lightning Bloodlust, another BM from Kevin Pruitt. And you call me scum.
Hey, I can only call as I see it. Oh, anyway, yeah. Wow, random one. Taking game number 3 in a crushing mirror.
And now all we have left from Aaron Shotkin is Quest Mage. Quest Mage was notoriously poor against aggro decks and he's staring down the barrel of 2 of them. Yeah, even if he manages to defeat this Evolve Shaman, he still has Tempo Mage right after. Neither of them are going to be good matchups for him. Aaron's looking in pretty dire straits right now. And this was all because there's 1 damage off lethal as Hunter.
Jaina versus Thrall.
Let's update his deck list accordingly to his
You
quest page.
asked for it.
Let's see, Aaron Shotkin. There we go. Again, very standard quest mage. You're looking to open that damn Waygate. You're looking to send infinite fireballs face. He's mulliganing. Ooh, that's a really good hand. He has a way to stop the board. He has Ice Block, but I mean, let's get real here. Evolved Shaman is in a dominant position in this matchup. It's able to flood the board really quickly and just wipe you out with Bloodlust. We've seen this previously. We tuned into Aaron's last series to watch him get wiped right off the face of the earth by Ron Eisenband's Evolved Shaman.
Yeah.
And I'm expecting to see more of the same here. It's gonna take a lot of luck after that sort of explosive opening, and Doomsayer might be that luck. Wow, what a top deck. You have to Doomsayer here. He does a Doomsayer here. He's saving it. He's saving it for a Frost. I mean, he can't see his opponent's deck, but Doomsayer would have been huge there. It just stops the board flood. It puts him back. Okay, we just received news that Ron Eisenband has defeated Andrew Powell 3-0. Andrew Powell is the 2nd player to be knocked out this tournament, and his both lower bracket matches complete. And so, yep, Andrew Powell and Ang Lee outs. It's definitely not a result that many of us saw coming at the start of this one. Oh, a 2nd Ice Block. That's beautiful. I think you definitely have to opt for this one as the quest mage here, and he does. Plays the Ice Block immediately. He's still staring down the barrel of a 7-card board, but we can see Kevin Pruitt's hand. He doesn't have Bloodlust, he doesn't have Evolve. All he has is 6 damage and 1 attack minions. And now, are we gonna see Frost Nova Doomsayer? I think we are. Nova Coin Doomsayer, and that is a board clear, ladies and gents. Unless the devolve top deck happens. Oh please, just this once.
That would be gross.
And that's not devolve. That's an immediate end turn by Kevin Pruitt. And Antonidas comes in. Arcanologist picks up a Ice Barrier. Perfect. Ice Barrier. You would have rather seen a 2nd Ice Block. Ice Barrier is good. Turns are playing out real quick. Aya Blackpaw, and neither player wants anything to do with this matchup. Second Sorcerer's Apprentice. Exodia is almost ready, except for the fact that he's only played two discovered spells, and also he's missing 2 apprentices, so it's actually nowhere near ready. And yeah, I mean, Pruitt has not drawn any of the cards that he has to really take advantage of a dominant board state like this. Ooh, Secret Keeper is cool. Secret Keeper actually gets buffed by the Mage's Ice Barrier and Ice Block.
Oh wow, synergy, PogChamp.
Yeah, exactly. We're probably still gonna see the 2nd Ice Barrier comes out. The Mage here really needs to preserve his health total while waiting for his big boys. He's missing Kabbalah's Tome. He's missing. Oh, Blizzard's. Oh, Blizzard is fantastic here. What a draw off the top. I was gonna say he's missing Kabbalah's Tome. He's missing his 2nd Primordial Glyph.
He's missing a lot to finally get his quest online.
I think as the Major, what you really want to draw is you want to draw in a Code Light Oracle. Best form of card draw in his deck, and he really needs to draw those cards.
Like, even Arcane Select, like he just needs some sort of filter or draw.
Exactly, you're right. Arcane Intellect would be excellent. And we see that Kevin Pruitt has finally drawn his that Kabbalah's Tome is definitely going to come out immediately. Let's see if he draws more Ice Blocks. He does! He gets a 3rd Ice Block! This is disgusting! He still has 1 in his deck also! I think we're going to see Arcane Intellect as a follow-up.
No, I think he could actually he can't play Intellect.
He has 2 Ice Blocks! He has 2 more Ice Blocks! He's so close. All he needs to draw into now is his Simulacrum and his Molten Reflection. Or Double Molten Reflection. And then he's ready. Exodia is almost ready. I think on the other side of the board, we're almost definitely going to see a Bloodlust here. I think he's just, again, like Ron Eisenband last time, calculating how much damage it takes to get lethal. Adding a Spanner in the works is the unknown secret that came up. Because you can't really play around Vaporize here. It came off Kabbalah's Tome. Kabbalah's Tome is a bullshit, disgusting card. And he just tests it with a 1-2. Good call.
Wonderful card.
And so he's probably calculating how much damage he needs to do to pop block on 1 while preserving his Jade Claws and his Jade Lightning. We saw a similar situation with Ron Eisenband last game. After popping block, he went as many non-minion based ways to continue popping blocks / kill the mage, because minions are often prone to getting frozen by things like Frost Nova and Blizzard. Although we've seen one of each already.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
he does manage to pop block on 1. Well played by Kevin Pruitt. Now,
now we're just seeing like how the lack of Flame Strike and or Volcanic Potion is like really hurting Yellow Pig here.
I mean, it's fine. He's gonna play his Discovered Arcane Intellect. He's gonna play his Discovered Ice Block. He's gonna have 5. No, he plays his not Discovered Ice Block. I guess he's keeping it a secret. That's true. It's better to not give away that you've got it. And he has Ultra Reflection. And that Arcanologist guaranteed to pull his 4th Ice Block. Oh no! He has one Simulacrum or Molten Reflection and 1 discovered spell off assembling Exodia. He's gotten really close. He needs to see a second Kabbalah Stone here. But he has 2 more Ice Blocks! He has 2 more Ice Blocks! And another Arcane Intellect. Perfect. He has 9 cards in hand, you draw to 10, you play Ice Block. He's signing with Code Light instead. That's fine. Babbling Book gives him that spell he needs. And he has Simulacrum! Play Babbling Book.
There he is. Babble, 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 babble.
You play the Discovered Ice Block. And next turn you can Greater Arcane Missiles to... Yep, you Simulacrum here. Next turn you can Greater Arcane Missiles and play another Ice Block, and then you have Exodia. Aaron Shotkin has won this game. I do not believe there is any way for Shaman to win this game. And I'm sure an experienced Quest Mage player like Aaron can win this. Angry is requested to join this cast, and so we are going to have a 3rd co-caster.
Sure.
Job's done.
Which is excellent. 4 co-casters is always... Let's see. Meanwhile, over here, we have... Yeah, it's an unwinnable situation for Kevin Pruitt because Aaron Shotkin got his 4th Ice Block.
Get them, boys.
Sealing down. Triple.
At this point, it's just
setting up Ice Block. We're gonna see Exodia come out right now.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Someday I'll be just like you.
We got a Time
There
Warp.
we go.
He has Ice Barrier or Arcane Intellect to get his first Antonidas proc off. Just don't play Volcanic Potion, that would be a mistake.
Require my assistance.
The random one.
Play,
My
play
deck
Ice
has no
Barrier
cards.
and... Come on, just concede, Kevin. You don't want to go through this. You don't.
You spin
You really
right
don't.
Round,
Oh,
right
no.
round the record, baby. Right.
This is
round,
disgusting. This is
spin
disgusting.
right
This is...
round,
I
baby,
hate all of
right
you.
Right the record, baby. Right round. You spin me right round, baby. Right round.
Okay, please stop.
Incredible.
And...
Wow.
Yep. Wow, indeed. Let me...
Well, it all comes down to the final game.
Yep.
Well, actually, maybe not.
Alright. Ang should be adding me on Discord presently, and then we'll be able to get the show rolling. And yeah, we're gonna see that Shaman go down indeed to, of all things, Quest Mage. Let me just remove that deck real quick. And that means that Kevin Pritt's last deck will be his Tempo Mage. Also, I realized in the bottom right.
Jaina versus Jaina.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Mage Mirror.
Oh, it is on.
Yeah, wait, is it Quest Mage versus Quest Mage, or is it Quest Mage versus
No, it's Quest
Tempo
Mage
Mage?
versus Burn Mage, actually, not Tempo Mage. You're right,
Wow.
it's Burn Mage. Let me load up this real quick. You see Alexstrasza and a lot of Burn. I think this might actually be a favorite matchup for the Quest Mage. I'm not entirely sure. Burn Mage was popular last meta,
especially
but I wasn't playing seriously last meta.
Honestly, even if that hand is kind of gross, not gonna lie.
Oops. Shit. Made a minor boo-boo. I made a minor boo-boo. Everything's fine. Alright.
Oh wow, Mana Worm top deck.
Yep,
really
Mana Worm
helped.
turn 1 top deck. That's big.
That was turn 2, I think. Turn 3, actually. Mana Bind. Doomsayer? Not coming. Oh yeah, Doomsayer coming out just to slow off the Mana Burn. Counterspell, but to pop down just a bit too late.
Counterspell
but
gonna pop into Mana Bind.
Mana Bind. So now, Yell Pig absolutely knows what's up.
Yep, and he has a coin to burn. Oh, I'm not super familiar with this matchup. I'm not sure whether or not the coin still counts towards the quest if it's countered. So yeah, one of the big things Burn Mage needs to do is figure out when to counterspell before Exodia pops.
Huh. What's the best card here? Blizzard? No, Blizzard's not the best card. Simulacrum?
Either that or use
Spellbender can't be
Spellbender
best
to
card.
like fake a counterspell later.
Huh. Oh. Hmm. Maybe you're right. Okay, comes down. Top and they counterspell.
Alright, well,
Yeah, I mean,
in the meantime, I'm gonna try to figure out how to get Aang in here. I'm gonna try to use the server from last time, except... Oh no, I don't think I can share screens on us. Oh wait, okay, Aang's friend request came through. Let me see if this works. Hello Aang, welcome. Can you hear me?
Let the pain speak to me.
Hello? Can anyone hear me? Both of you do appear to be muted right now.
Hello?
Hi, yep, Chester, you are audible. Aang, are you there? Appear to be muted right now.
You're kind of distorted, man.
Yeah, I think this server is struggling with the fact that we're in different areas. Oh, worst case, there's always option 2, which is add all the players as friends and just using a voice call rather than me sharing my screen. But alright. Any update from Aang? Do you still appear to be muted?
An incredible
In any case, we see that the Quest Mage player is working his way slowly towards completing his quests. But Burn Mage has Ice Block. Ice Block is definitely a big impediment to Exodia, especially if you save an Alexstrasza at the end to heal yourself back up out of range. Kevin Pruitt might have this one locked up nice and early. Hey Aang, I caught the hell end of that. I think I can start hearing you now. Say something?
I can hear you, but not a lot.
Yeah, it's really robotic. Wow. I think it's because we're in different continents, or Chester's in a different continent here, and that might be messing up with some of the routing. Let me... try to figure this out. Either that or I'm using too much of my upload.
The protocols stand ready. The feast of souls begins now.
But in the meantime, Ice Block is going to be a huge impediment to Aaron Shotgun's game plan, especially with Alexstrasza in hand.
Can't really get any. Are you very
Yeah, both of you are super robotic. I'm gonna try to, yeah, so,
You require my assistance? Aha!
so I'm trying to figure out this situation. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a good way to share my screen in a voice channel yet. And it looks like Aaron Shotgun has just lost to Fireball Frostbow in any case. And so in a close fought series, Kevin Pruitt does come back to win it all. And this all came down to 1 HP in the Hunter versus Shaman match. Hey, how's it going?
Hey. Oh, much better.
Yeah, so the downside is I don't think there's any way for me to share my screen in this chat, but this chat is hosted on actual Discord servers. So you guys might have to add the players as friends and to spectate them here. So in case you missed it, Kevin Pruitt did in fact defeat Aaron Shotgun 3-2 off the back of Ice Block being crazy good against Quest Mage and also just burning him out faster. And so it seems like the only series that's continuing to run right now is Suhi versus I forget who Raurak is.
That's Chung Lee.
Yeah,
That's
Chung
the
Lee,
guy that-
exactly. So I'm gonna quickly try to switch over the overlays for this. We're gonna do this game. So, Hang, is it okay for you to go on and just spectate the players?
Yeah, I can do that.
Alright, so it looks like we're staring at Control Warlock versus Secret Mage.
Okay. Just 1 second to get in.
Job's done.
So we saw this Control Warlock beat Jade Druid from Logan Gore last series. So there's a very greedy late game Control Warlock. But it looks like the Secret Mage has him out-tempoed. Oh, but
Okay,
Secret Mage misses lethal! Firelands Portal's a minion! BM! I don't think there's any way for the Warlock to come back from this, but he does miss lethal.
I can't actually see the Warlock's hand. I think I'm friends with both of them.
Yeah, you gotta manually spectate the other player.
Oh, okay, that's how it works. Oh, okay, yeah.
So many
When
possibilities.
there's no way this game is over.
Yeah, this game is totally over. It
Well played.
let's see, we have Trunk did miss lethal, but I don't think it matters. I hope this is game 5. And looks like Trunk's typing in chat, so I think this might actually be game 5.
What happened to Chester? Is he around still?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
He might have just peaced out and gone for lunch, I'm not sure. He lives in Hong Kong, which is a sort of awkward time zone for everyone involved, and I think that's why we are having some of the connection issues.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Swapping
Three,
co-casters
two,
works.
so-
Yeah, it looks like 3-2, and we're going into round 3. So again, let's bring up the bracket. And so in round 3, we're going to be looking at Aaron Shotgun versus versus Logan Gore, and Suheep versus Ron Eisenband. So I really want to see Aaron Shotgun's Deadman Hand Warrior at play. Hopefully this doesn't get banned out by Logan. And so we're going to be spectating that series once it starts.
Sure. Okay. I don't think that Warrior is getting banned.
You'd be surprised. It got Kevin Pruitt did end up banning out that Warrior. He wanted no part of it. It's definitely Aaron Shotgun's comfort pick. I mentioned that earlier on stream, and so maybe that's one of the motivations Kevin Pruitt had to get rid of that.
Yeah. I played against Aaron the week before. I guess it was just last week. He had the exact same lineup, and I left the Warrior. I didn't ban it.
Yep, and you definitely came out ahead there. I remember looking at the research. I also rolled over Aaron Shotgun in the regular season, but I brought an extremely aggressive lineup, and I think I did ban out the Warrior. I thought it was Pirates. This was pre-nerf.
Pre-nerf, right? Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty safe assumption pre-nerf that any Warriors Pirates. But
I don't think there was any other kind of Warrior that was viable.
I mean, I think Deadman's Hand people were experimenting with that at the time. I'm not sure if he was actually playing it. But in any case, things didn't work out so well for him there either. I actually had a lot of trouble with his Quest Mage. If you managed to catch his game against Kevin Pruitt's Shaman, he got 4 ice blocks. And, you know, sometimes there's nothing you can do about that. It's like an 80% matchup for Shaman. But if you get 4 ice blocks, you get 4 ice blocks.
Yeah. RNG. Oh, it's a funny story. The reason I didn't catch that was that I was playing a different match.
Right,
but
against
it turned out
Logan.
to be the wrong match. So I looked at the bracket wrong. When I went to the losers bracket, I saw that Andrew Powell had also finished his game, and then I was like, "Hey, let's play."
Oh.
And then I beat him 3-0, but that didn't count because we were.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and then I played Logan.
Yeah, what happened there?
I drew patches every single game I played Shaman. That's 3 for 3.
Damn, that's brutal. That's sort of like what happened against me, right? Like you just got really bad draws.
I haven't had a good Shaman game like this entire time. Maybe I should stop playing Shaman.
Yeah,
Like on ladder, it's fine.
I sort of
but-
felt that. I really don't like Evolve Shaman. It's such a swingy deck.
Right, like it's inconsistent. Like I
Yep.
haven't had a lot of success with it.
Yeah, so like I was playing Shaman last season. I ended up dropping it for the top 8 just because like I felt like I just kept losing games that I shouldn't be losing.
Yeah.
Although then again, with how my play's been recently, maybe I do deserve to lose every game. I've also always had trouble with being too greedy with evolves. Being scared of rolling Doomsayer every time, or unlicensed Apothecary back when that was bugged.
Right. Okay. I haven't encountered that. So they fixed it, right? They fixed. So once you evolve it.
I know they fixed it with Evolve. I'm not sure they fixed it with Thrall Deathseer yet. Because I ran into the unlicensed Apothecary bug against the Thrall Deathseer around a week back, and he still took 20 damage from it.
Interesting. I thought it would be the same mechanism.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but what we've learned from this small indie dev is that everything's hard-coded.
Oh yeah, small indie dev indeed. Maybe we should help them out.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we maybe look at something while we wait?
Yeah,
So
so
Logan.
yeah, while we're
Logan's in a
waiting,
match.
we can pull up
I see that Logan's in a match.
oh,
and
Logan
that's
is in a match. Perfect. So they just began. So yeah, we can just hop right into that. Aaron versus Logan.
Wow, Priest. Someone actually got to play Priest today.
Highlander Priest. Yeah. It sort of makes sense. Aaron's lineup is pretty teched against Priest. He was running both Quest Mage and I think Dead Man's Hand Warrior is around even, depending on when you get Skulking Geist and how well your Dirty Rat rolls. And so we're seeing Quest Mage against the Highlander Priest.
Well,
How do you
to be
feel
honest,
about this matchup? You play Highlander Priest, right?
I play Highlander Priest. So I'd say Priest is unfavored unless you draw really well.
Yeah,
Or
that's what I was
the
thinking.
mage draws really poorly, and Antonidas at the bottom or something like that.
Yeah. He picks up Glacial Mysteries from that Primordial Drink. That can't be correct, right?
Hold on, sorry, I don't actually see Mage's hand. Let me spectate him and see what's going on. Wow, yeah, that's a really terrible card.
Yeah, I was messing
actually
with the overlays. I didn't catch what his other choices were, but I feel like Glacial Mysteries cannot be right. It's one of the worst cards in the entire set.
let's see.
I feel like as
Well-
Quest Mage here, you just want low-cost playable spells.
I think his thought process is that he has no secret in play, and
Right. It will pull block. I guess you can pop it next turn and pull block and barrier.
yeah, so that's 2 draws. But still, 6 mana, 2 draws. Oh, you do save.
Yeah.
The
It looks like
mana
Logan
of
did
playing
curve
it,
out
so
pretty explosively though. Pulled most of the smaller minions in his deck.
Yeah, and if I were him, I'd play the Cabal Shadow Priest
Yeah, you
next.
play Value Shadow Priest. Or not Value, Tempo Shadow Priest.
Yeah.
Mass Dispel is going to be strong against Doomsayer that can potentially come out, but we see there's no Doomsayer in Mage's hand either. I'm going to quickly ask the players what the bans were.
Sure.
Let me change your mind.
Yep, and Logan agrees with your line of play, but that's a mistake. He attacks the Priest of the Feast, right? Or is it a mistake? Yeah, it is a mistake. It's definitely a mistake.
Oh, okay.
Even if you want to keep the Radiant Elemental effect, you attack the Glimmer Root. I'll just play this play. So Logan banned Aaron's Shaman, and Aaron banned Logan's Rogue. So that's an
Okay.
aggro Rogue and a Evolved Shaman out of play, which means that we are going to see that Deadman's Hand Warrior.
Okay, that's gonna be a fun deck. Alright, this was the matchup that you wanted to spectate right from the beginning. Okay.
Yep. Do you have any experience playing against Deadman's Hand?
Some, not. I mean, you don't find them all the time on ladder.
Yeah, so
I've played-
historically, I've kept losing to them on ladder because I have no idea how to play the matchup. I think I played-
also,
yeah.
the Warrior is a really hard deck to play. I've tried it myself a couple times.
I hope you like my
Knowing when to use Deadman's Hand.
Right. And
Definitely
knowing what
either
package you want at that in that infinite loop. But I've been chatting with Aaron, and he says that that's his main ladder deck, and he plays it extensively. So I'm hoping to see some really sick Deadman's Hand plays come out.
Sure. Okay, at this point, I don't know why he, Aaron, that is, why he didn't play the Glacial Mysteries when he had the opportunity.
Right, instead he's just
like-
playing Secrets out of hand. See, is he
Yeah,
ashamed that he
now
accidentally
that's
picked
how this
Glacial
works.
Mysteries? On the other hand, he has assembled all but one piece of Exodia. And he still has 2 blocks and a Cone of Code to delay more. I think Logan's clock is rapidly ticking. I'm not sure he's gonna have a good chance.
Or you never know. Maybe the other apprentice is at the bottom.
So he's playing Mysteries just for Ice Barrier.
No, right? Wait. He runs.
He already had a block in play. He runs
No, I
double,
think he has. No, okay, right.
runs double barrier, double block.
Okay, that makes sense.
So we see Shadow Reaper coming out, which puts Aaron on a bit of a clock, but it's not machine gun time. Kabbalist Tome here. His hand's a little too full for that.
I think I would have.
I mean, he's trying to draw into a second Molten Reflection or Simulacrum at this point. Gets a second block out of his deck. 9 cards remaining.
Job done.
I mean, at this point,
Oh, there you go. See?
Oh, that's Raza. There's Raza.
I think that the order is wrong. I would have played Raza first.
Right, yeah. Because you have so many pings available to you with this hand. As the priest player, do you think you would silence the Gnomish just to push in 4 extra damage? It gets you a ping and it gets you a swing for 2.
I wouldn't just looking at the hand because you do have some expensive cards. I mean, it's not like you're gonna
silence, he's going for it. He really wants the pressure right now.
You're not popping the block this turn.
Yeah,
so.
right. Because so you can hold it for a turn. And then
what if like, Blizzard Doomsayer comes out then?
Oh, and that is the last piece of Exodia. I'm pretty sure he has a generated spell in his hand too somewhere, or maybe not. But he has Kabbalah's Tome to generate them. And so yeah, it looks like we're going to be seeing a Highlander Priest fall unless something goes horribly wrong.
I hope you like my invention.
It is outputting a lot of damage, but I mean, this is where spending the silence last turn suddenly feels bad. You're missing out on the 5 damage from Raza.
I think you can still pop him, right? You have the 1 mana potion.
Let's see, at 8, 1 mana potion for 3. That's 5, 3.
I think you're one.
No, you're 1 mana off popping. It's 1 mana off popping, right?
Yep. You can't. If you could play 1 more card, then you'd be able to. Yeah, this game is over.
Yeah.
Unless Aaron misclicks.
Yeah, Aaron has to do something dumb, like accidentally burn the time warp from playing a random card that generates a card, or misclicking.
Yeah. So even if Logan popped him last time, it wouldn't have mattered.
So how do you sequence this? Do you go Apprentice, Molten, Tome, and just hope that you get something playable from Tome? Because right now his hand's so full, he can't really play Tome. Yeah, it looks like he's going for it.
No, once the 2 apprentices and the
yeah, Apprentice, Molten, Tome.
You have your hand is empty enough that you can play
yeah.
the Tome. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I thought. Because it only costs 1 mana to play the Time Warp, which means that as long as he has any spell, Freezing Potion does
Got it. Got it.
And that's game right there. He has a Frost Nova to generate that first Fireball, and it's all over.
Man, that is an annoying deck. I remember losing like 2 games to it when I played Aaron.
Yep, I lost 2 games to this deck when I played him too. Sometimes you can't kill him fast enough. He gets too many freeze effects, he gets too many ice blocks. Alright, we see Logan concede here. When we saw this happening against Kevin Pruitt, he actually waited out all the fireballs.
Yeah, just to see if he had the time to, click click all the cards.
As the priest player here, I would be way too tilted to wait out those fireballs. I would immediately go to the next game. Then again, I also wouldn't play priest, so. So Logan has Druid and Shaman. I think we can expect to see that Shaman come out. His Jade Druid is a slightly more aggro variant. He runs a lot of the token cards, Mark of Yashraj, Enchanted Raven. But I think Shaman has a much better matchup against this, and we do in fact see Shaman.
Well, let's hope he doesn't draw patches. It is in his opening hand, so.
I mean, I've thrown it away and then gotten off the first draw before. He has the Corsair. Let's see if he draws patches. That'll be perfect.
Oh, just to get out of the deck, huh? I would have played the.
I would have played the Firefly. I agree.
Yeah, I probably would have.
And drawing patches isn't always the worst thing in this matchup, at least late game, just because it's a way to pop block that doesn't get frozen.
Yeah, and if you have a Flame Totem, Flame Tongue Totem in play, then that's 3 damage right there.
Quite effective, yeah. Although, I mean, Evolved Shaman does have quite a few different ways to pop block from hand. You have 2 Jade Lightnings and 2 Jade Claws. So in all of these matchups I've seen so far, the Shamans had no trouble popping blocks.
Yeah. Well, we do see a...
We do see a really anti-aggro hand from from Mage here. I'm surprised not. I would be surprised not to see Volcanic Potion here.
Well, if he wants to be greedy,
Yeah,
he could,
I guess he can wait one turn, and he Frostbolt from the Glyph, clearing out the. Yeah, I mean it worked out for him.
Well, look at that.
Do you think the Shaman evolves here, or do you think he's holding? No, he's holding out.
I don't like that. I would have waited for the Thrall next turn. Now he can't. He cannot play Thrall.
Oh, he played Jade Claws. You're right. I don't like that
That
at all.
overloaded.
Yeah. Well, would you have Hero Power evolved, or would you just have Hero Power then passed?
I would have Hero Power and evolved.
Yeah, I think so too. You have to build that board. Right now, I mean, this is looking really good for the Mage player. There's a very awkward hand for Shaman. But Saronite Chain Gang is alright off the top.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Mage is
I
just
perhaps would
working
have held it just because of the hand.
towards... Right, you hold it to guarantee evolve value. Oh my
Yeah, now
god,
he has
Babbling Book
nothing
into
to
Ice
really
Block.
like,
That's disgusting. And yeah, now he kills off a Chain Gang. You're right. I mean...
Just go with Thrall, I think. You hit, and what
If
if?
he's going for Flame Tongue. Is he at least going to evolve? It does look like he's finally going to evolve this. That's pretty good. Darkshire
That's
Librarian's a premium 2-drop. Robbing is crazy. But look at that hand from Mage. That can stall you out for years. I would have liked to see... actually no. I think Arcane Intellect's better than Code Light here. You don't want to draw the Shaman cards. It's in a pretty awkward spot. 4 secrets. Alright. Finally seeing the Thrall come out. What do you think of hero powering before Thrall versus saving the 2 mana to hero power after Thrall?
I'd like to Hero Power before. Just so that you get one more. It's like one extra evolve, right? Even though on a lower value minion.
Right, yeah.
But you're getting basically two additional power as opposed to just one. But you lose the flexibility. It depends on what you have. So I probably would have like looked at my minions more carefully. These tend to be really bad. In this case, he got pretty lucky. That's a pretty good one. And then
He's continuing to have a pretty solid.
yeah, I would have. Depends on what you're gonna get. Like, what do you expect to get? What are the odds of getting like really bad minions? Then
Right.
you kind of make that decision.
So this is interesting. We're seeing removal and like secrets for phase from the Mage player here, but we also see only 2 combo pieces. He's missing Antonidas and both apprentices.
Not welcome here.
Yeah.
I thought this looked pretty good for Mage because he was delaying so long, but he doesn't actually. He's not getting all that close to his win condition yet.
For sure. Wow, look at that Wind Fury. Wow.
Yep. It's a lot of win theories. Do you think you glyph here and dig
No
for
way.
AoE, or looks like he's gold lighting and digging? There's 1 apprentice, and that's Antonidas. I guess I spoke too soon. Meteor or
Meteor is pretty pointless. You're not. You're getting popped anyway.
so he picks the cheap spell.
Job's done.
That's what I would have done too. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean he's now 1
Yeah,
apprentice
he-
off, but he's still quite a few spells off.
The mage can delay another turn
Right,
after
another
this.
turn with the second block, and he has 1 more block in his deck because he got one of the blocks off Babbling Book. And then you can see that the Shaman doesn't have any direct damage from hand, but at this point I'm not sure it matters.
I would have played the Mana Tide instead of the thing from below, just to increase my chance of drawing a lightning.
Right, I think I agree with you for sure. Oh, he pulls the 3rd block. I think we're gonna see him just start to go for it. He play a block, play Simula, and then just next turn you just go in as the mage and try to get lucky. I mean, he has one more block so he can delay one more turn, but after that, you just go in.
I would delay that one extra turn
Oh,
because
absolutely.
yeah, you're not hurting your own chances. Yeah, you're maximizing your chances by delaying the game as much as possible. Because if you don't complete the quest after you bust out everything,
you just lose.
game's over.
Yeah. And he only has 7 cards left in his deck. He can Ice Block Arcane Intellect here and get down to 5. He still has 1 Apprentice and 1 Molten Reflection. And with the Kabbalist Tome in hand, he's fairly close to getting there. Novice gets him 1 closer. And there he is. Yeah, drop the Doomsayer just to clear. I think you drop Doomsayer just to clear board, just clear hand space for the Kabbalist Tome, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Well, it doesn't show a card count.
Yeah. I think it doesn't matter either way. And then.
Okay. Yeah, I think the mage
I think
has
Mage
a
has
good chance
this,
of.
or Mage has a very good chance. Yeah, he needs 2 playable cheap
Very
spells
good
off Kabbalist Tome. So yeah, he needs 2 spells at 4 mana or less. Well, Logan's just dumping cards for fun at this point.
3 Pyroblasts, and then
Yeah. That 5th Apprentice
the game will be over.
makes a difference, right?
Oh yeah,
the
for
5th
sure.
Apprentice makes a difference. Now, any spell 5 or lower... Wait, no. He needs 2 spells 6 or lower now, so it's very easy to complete the quest.
Just like you.
3 Pyroblasts.
And he gets them. Nice and easy. It would be funny if he accidentally popped the A-bomb and lost, but nope.
No, it would have been funny if he played Forbidden Flame by accident. And
Yeah, that
he
too.
wouldn't have the mana to. Well, actually, no.
No,
yeah,
all of the
that's zero
spells are
cost.
0 mana, yeah. And
Yeah.
that's another win for
Many
Quest
different-
Mage.
Wow. Are we gonna see a?
And the last deck's Jade Druid. This is a pretty good matchup for Quest Mage. We might see a Quest Mage 3-0.
I wanted to see the warrior.
I wanted to see the Warrior too. The one comfort is that Logan's Jade Druid is faster and more board focused than most Jade Druids, which could give him a chance to race down this mage.
Jaina
But with the luck that we've been seeing from Aaron so far, I'm not sure anything could beat him.
Protect the one.
You asked for it.
That's a pretty terrible hand.
Well,
That's the worst hand. I want to say.
Logan has alright minions, but just gonna get turn 2 Doomsayer probably. Although earlier I saw Aaron choose not to turn 2 Doomsayer, instead opting to save it for the turn 4 Frost Nova Coin Doomsayer, which I personally consider was a misplay, but we'll see how this turns out. Logan goes for the 1-5 instead of the 1-2 Poison, which is weaker against Doomsayer. What do you think?
It depends.
1-5
What
is
if-
better against removal. He's gonna Wrath for 1 to draw a card, huh? Yeah. He knows he needs to pressure this fast. And Ultimate Infestation might be the worst card he could have drawn there.
Perhaps, yeah. Or no, actually, Spreading Plague is worse.
Yeah, here. Well, no, Spreading Plague is a 6 mana 1-5. It's probably gonna be more effective than getting 10 mana in this matchup.
I think he'll get to
Wait,
turn.
Logan's not even running Spreading Plague.
Oh, is he not? Oh, right. Yeah, I got confused by this.
He's
When
running
when
the weird Token Jade thing.
Yeah, I looked at his deck list because I didn't expect to play him. I took like 3 seconds to look at it. I saw some Jade cards. I was like, okay, that's a Jade Druid.
Yeah, and then did he enchant a Raven you turn 1?
And then he played the Enchanted Raven on turn 1. I was just like, what?
Yeah. It's like, did this guy switch decks out from under me? Nope.
I
He's just
didn't
running a
mold
really
it correctly,
strange Token Jade.
There's your Nourish. So he can. So what I would do here
I think you
Nourish
draw
for
3,
mana.
right?
No, I nourish for mana. What are you gonna do next turn? You're gonna play the Jade Behemoth? Yeah, you want to do that, but then you're
Right. Yeah, no, you're
You're-
right. And he does go for the mana.
run out of things to play. Like you have
That's true.
turn 6, turn 7, and then what are you gonna do after that?
Yeah, if you draw, you're trying to draw into Enchanted Ravens and board buffs. But I mean, he's just gonna get Frost Nova Doomsayer right after, so yeah. That's
Does he run swipes in this deck?
he runs 2 swipes. Yep.
Okay.
So he does have ways to do direct damage, but and there's the second Ultimate Infestation. Not really something you ever want to see.
Well, he can.
Nova Doomsayer coming out. And unless Logan top deck swipe, he's not gonna. Or yeah, he's already used 1 Wrath, so unless he top deck swipe, Fandrel's not gonna do it. He's just gonna Malfurion and Malfurion and Chomp Face, I guess.
Yeah, that's the play. It's the place.
All that health and armor Druid has, that means utterly nothing.
I'm trying to see his deck list. What did he cut to make room for these?
Oh my. He's already assembled all his Exodia pieces. All he needs to do now is draw into his spell generation. But he has all 5 pieces. Using a Temple UI.
I say the mage had really good draws.
Oh
like,
yeah, throughout this entire series. And now Logan's finally drawing into. Oh, and Kabbalah's Tome here is brutal. Yep, Kabbalah's puts you up to 10. Another block and a 5th apprentice.
Game is pretty
Yeah,
much over.
I think it's over. It's just going through the formalities now. It's not entirely over. There's a
Well,
chance
maybe yeah.
that-
Like
Chance
another.
that-
Girl's best friend.
If he doesn't get it, there is a chance that
Yeah.
you know it's at the bottom, and then he just never completes the quest.
Yeah, that is Logan's pretty much only out at this point. But Aaron only needs 1 more spell. The Meteor, the Block, and the Simula are all generated.
Why would you meteor that one and not the 5?
Right, because you don't really want to kill the Aya. The Aya's gonna pop out a 5/5.
You're taking 1 less damage off the board. Well, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Is
Whoa,
he trying
whoa,
to
whoa,
turn
whoa.
that into a second Novice? I think he wants to just draw into more spell generation
Like my invention.
rather than 5 apprentices.
Interesting. Okay.
I think if you have two minions of the same cost, it's just random, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Did he perhaps not mean to do that? I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say for sure. But he does have Arcanologist to dig for a 3rd block now. Logan's... Is that a misplay from Logan? Without hero powering,
He could've-
if
he
he
could've
hero powered, he
popped it,
could have
yeah.
popped block, yeah.
Incredible discovery.
The behemoth is not doing much for you.
Right. Yeah.
And I really don't understand what the mage was doing. Like, whatever he planned to do, there was only a 50% chance of him actually accomplishing it. So,
Well,
that was
I mean-
weird.
He's gonna have it anyways. Glyph and block are spells 5 and 6. Oh my god, Glyph into
Ooh, not
Glyph.
left.
Nope. He knows that his block's generated. I don't know why you don't Glyph into Glyph here. I think both players might just be tired. It's reaching the end of the night.
Are we done after this round?
Oh, we are. Yep.
Okay.
And then we get a chill until 8 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, Logan does calculate it correctly. He pops at 1, but this is a foregone conclusion.
Well, what's interesting is that I think the mage, if the mage doesn't draw another spell, can he actually cast something to generate a fireball the next turn?
Oh, you're right.
Gone for the when he like I wouldn't have gotten the crossbolt
Yeah,
because
you should have gone for the glyph, yeah. But
Well,
it's irrelevant. Oh no, he can't play that ice block.
not cast it twice. Yeah,
Let's see if he realizes.
this is a weird situation.
He might not realize.
He needs to draw a spell like after on his extra turn. If he doesn't, he can't do anything. Well, he doesn't die, but he's just gonna lose
Right,
the
he
game.
loses his combo. Could he be throwing a one game?
Well,
Oh
So
no,
he
you can no, he knows. You can cast the second Molten next turn.
oh yeah.
Yep, this is
Okay.
someone who's played Quest Mage enough to understand this.
Yeah, I clearly have not played enough Quest Mage. Yeah. Well, he drew a spell anyway. Oh, that's a
No,
volcanic.
that spell would not have worked. That spell would not have worked. No, he knows his deck better than we do. And Logan is not happy about this.
He got 3-0'd by.
Yeah, he got 3-0'd by Quest Mage, who I think discovered 4 ice blocks this series. I would be pretty tilted if I was Logan right now. He's even waiting this out. He conceded the first 2 times. He's just letting this one play out.
Yeah.
At least Aaron has the courtesy not to BM him. I can appreciate that.
Oh yeah, it's just fireball every single minion down before like killing him.
Even though he's a scummy Quest Mage player, at least he's doing it politely. Alright, so let's hop into our final series of the day, which looks like Ron versus Suhi. My friends list moved and I clicked on the wrong person. Lovely.
Okay. Token Shaman versus Warlock. A handlock.
Yep, the only Warlock player today actually. I was really surprised. I was expecting to see some Zeus, but no Zeus. Just a very greedy handlock from Suhi. And looks like he's in a pretty good spot right now. 27 health on turn 8 against a token. Druid is definitely where you want to be at. And he can clear this. Yep, he's in a pretty dominating position.
Oh, the game is stuck for me. Is it? Never mind, it's not. Okay. He ended his turn for some reason. It still shows that the Warlock has 8 mana for me. 8 out of 8.
Yeah, the spectator interface is definitely not the greatest. Oh no, and Ron has an awful hand. Well, it's not the worst. Let's see if he gets that. So he has Patches, Firefly, Living Mana, and Power of the Wild. If he Living Mana, he'll consume 7 mana. He can't Power of the Wild. But if he Fireflies first, so that he only generates 6 tokens, then Firefly, Living Mana, Power of the Wild is actually playable this turn. So we'll see if Ron chooses to go for that, or if he knows that subtle interaction.
Well,
either way, it gets cleared by Abyssal Enforcer, and he's totally boned. But
exactly.
it's always interesting to see whether or not someone makes at least what I consider to be the optimal play. He's totally dead.
Medivh. Oh, never mind. I'm doing that. It's a weird spectator interface. Wow.
This game is all but over.
Job's done.
Draw last.
Yeah, draw last. And there's the Savage Roar draw, so if there wasn't an Abyssal Enforcer and he opted for the previous play, he would have managed to get lethal. As is, he doesn't have anything going for him.
You're so
And yup, he's just committing elaborate seppuku.
What game is this?
Oh, Aaron just messaged me saying that he did mean to copy the novice.
Okay.
So he knew exactly what he was doing. He's just a better quest mage player than either of us. Which probably makes sense. I don't play that deck at all. Let me message Suhib and check. My game isn't lagging. Oh, it's definitely not the last game. They just entered another game.
Gul'dan versus Arthas.
for Lordaeron.
And so we're seeing the Murloc Paladin versus versus the Control Warlock. So I've played this matchup from the Paladin's point of view a whole bunch, and I feel like it's slightly favored, but Defile is absolutely huge here.
For sure. Yeah, I'd say Paladin's favored. But
Yeah. Ron is playing the more mid-range version, which can pump out some really value minions. But he's not running the Corpse Taker package. He's opted for Scalebanes instead, Scalebanes and the Curator. So that does limit his explosiveness a little bit, because he won't have those huge Wind Furies going.
Prince Valinar in Warlock.
Yeah, that was something interesting. He cut both Hellfire and Shadow Flame for that. So he really values that 4-mana taunt lifesteal.
Shadow Flame is not run that often. At least I don't really see it.
He also loses Twilight Drake.
Yeah, I think that's a big one.
But he's not running Mountain Giant either. He's running a very demon and removal heavy version. He's running double Cabal Trafficker of all things.
Yeah, he's definitely a control player. I find it interesting that he actually has some non-control decks.
As Logan called this deck earlier, he called it the meme greedy Warlock. But I mean, it looks like Suhib's had success with this so far. He's blown out that Jade Druid from
Yeah, without Mountain Giant, so that's...
And also, we should add that Logan has been, in fact, eliminated from this tournament after that last game.
Okay. Is he the second person?
No, Andrew Powell was the second person. He did lose the best of 5 he played after you trounced him accidentally. But Logan is the third out, and whoever loses this matchup will be the fourth. Which means that the top 4 will be Kevin Pruitt, Aaron Shotkin, Trung Lee, and then the winner of this matchup.
I go for Prince. What else are you gonna do?
Yep, let's go for Prince Valinar. So I was actually distracting Suhib a little there. I was asking some questions. The score currently is 1-1. And
Okay.
so we watched Ron lose earlier, just then with his aggro druid, and then I'm waiting on a response. Let's see. So Suhib banned Ron's rogue, Ron banned Suhib's shaman, and then we saw the aggro druid lose. So that means Ron still has his paladin and evolved shaman, while Suhib lost with his priest. So with shaman banned and priest lost, Suhib has his warlock and his aggro druid, I believe. It's definitely druid. Yeah, aggro druid. Actually, no.
So many
Yeah, it is. It's a weird
possibilities.
mid-rangey aggro druid with Soul of the Forest, Evolving Spores, and Malfurion the Pestilent.
Yeah.
So it looks like all of Suheep's lists are tilted a little more control-y than you would expect from the archetypes normally. Do you think he's gonna pass here and let
No,
them,
I played the Earthen Ring.
Earthen Ring to try to contest that board? The Earthen Ring dies immediately to Rallying Blade though.
Trust me.
Well, either. I mean, the thing is, I'm probably, I'm thinking about like Coin and Abyssal Enforcer next turn. Like,
Right,
you
but
gotta
going
think
into turn 6, Spike Ridge is happening. What? What? Okay, never mind. That was Spectator, but I thought... Finja? I do not agree with this Finja play at all. I think you Spike Ridge. Abyssal Enforcer clears out the War Leader, puts the Finja to 1. Bone Mared Finja can kill the Enforcer, but at the cost of the Finja's own life. I really don't like this Finja play.
I would have thought about it. Maybe Cobalt Scalebane.
Oh, but we're not. Are we not seeing an Enforcer? Is he going for Despicable Drain Soul?
I think so.
So this is Despicable Drain Soul is going to lose against Bone Bear. Or Kings. Although Bone Mare just makes sense here. With Kings, he can't really fill out the rest of his mana. And Bone Mare presents a pretty fearsome board. Although Abyssal's gonna sweep most of it away. Bone Mare does come out. I still think he should have Spike Ridged War Leader. It's a 7-3 War Leader. You make that a 9-9. I guess maybe he's scared of Siphon Soul, but right now Abyssal Enforcer is gonna do a number on this board. That's both War Leaders dead also. Paladin's starting to run out of the big threats. He still has 2 Scalebanes, a Curator, his second Bone Mare, and Tyrion. But losing both War Leaders means that and Finja means that the Murloc package just lost most of his punch. I think we see a Spike Ridge, yeah. Spike Ridge lets you fade here, but it's a pretty uncomfortable turn. Is he going face? I like this a lot, because he can push out 7 bursts from hand with Kings and Rallying Blade, and so this puts the Warlock in a really uncomfortable situation.
I think you only like this because you don't see a Siphon Soul in the Warlock's hand. But from the Paladin player's point of view,
that's absolutely true, but yeah, maybe.
So many possibilities.
I think maybe Ron's looking at the card count in the Warlock's hand and just going, at some point I have to push for damage. He's not gonna outlast this Warlock. Especially once like Blood Reaver comes down, this matchup becomes really difficult for Paladin once Blood Reaver drops. So you are aiming to push lethal before turn 10. I think after the Abyssal clear, you definitely have a read that Siphon's not available, and so I think Hero Power, Rallying Blade Kings, and push for 6 more to face is the play.
Yeah, but that walks into this thing nether.
Yeah, but
then I think Warlock is stable. So you know that the Paladin has burst, so you know you're safe.
Right.
And in addition to the 5 armor, you also get back how many of those 1/3 taunts have died?
At least 1. I want to say 2.
At least 1.
But yeah, if he survives till turn 10, Blood Reaver is amazing. And yeah, I think as the Warlock player, you feel pretty good here.
Yeah, how's he gonna kill him? How's he gonna do 3?
Yep, I expect to see double Scalebane come out here. 2 8/5s is really strong.
Very strong.
I mean, it actually puts him really close to lethal. With the weapon, he gets through 1 Voidwalker. If there's only 1 Voidwalker, Godan doesn't survive. He needs both Voidwalkers for Godan to keep him alive. With 1 Nether Plate, there's not many ways. Oh, there's the second Voidwalker! Oh no!
Dead. He's at 11, and then he does 16 after
what's
going.
The best he can do? Voidwalker double Earthen Ring puts him at 12. That's not gonna do it. Hero Power puts him at. I mean, not Hero. Hero Card puts him at 11. That's also not gonna do it. Tap Taps your only out. I'm not sure he has an out. He played Valinor already, right?
How many
Last game.
nethers does he have?
He runs 2 Twisting Nethers. Tapping is his only out. It puts him at 1 HP if he
Go for
draws
tapping
Twisting
here,
Nether.
'cause he's dead on board.
If he's dead on board with either Blood Reaver or whatever he has in hand, he has to tap.
I wonder.
He's counting just to see if he has a way to stay alive.
I think Twisting Nether is only out. Siphon Soul doesn't do it. I think he's already used Valinor. Done. Dead.
Why do you fall?
He's gonna try anyways and hope that the Paladin misreads lethal. There's
Maybe
no way to
wrong
misread
message.
this one.
Oh, I gotta kill the Doomsayer.
Yeah. Let's see. So he's lost Priest, he's had Shaman banned down, he's lost with Warlock, so Suki's remaining deck is in fact Evolve Shaman, like everyone else brought. We had 7 Evolve Shamans, which I think had 5 cards different across all 7 lists total, brought to this tournament. It's actually interesting. Evolve Shamans have been performing pretty well against some, but we've also seen a lot of non-standard decks in this tournament that do tend to get preyed on by that fast Shaman list.
Well, I'm disliking Shaman at this point.
Yeah,
I've
I'm
won.
not a fan. Do you watch Pavel versus Orange?
I just kind of saw, like, got the result. I know that Orange won.
Pavel in
got
game
it.
5, which is Shaman Mirror, drew was pretty much the most brutal Shaman hand ever. He had like Evolve, Evolve, Devolve, Flame Tongue, Thrall, Bloodlust.
Algerian versus Arthas.
All of the Winmore cards.
For Lordaeron.
I must
Yeah.
protect the wild.
So, Aaron's telling us he didn't glyph into glyph because he didn't want to overdraw his quest. Because
Okay.
he knew that he was going to make the play that he did, which is use the last Molten on the second turn. And so if
Right,
he glyphed,
okay.
he could have accidentally either overdrawn the quest or been in a position where he didn't have a spell, or got an Arcane Intellect and drawn into Fatigue or something. So
Sure.
he saw the line that he took, which was 100% guaranteed win, and therefore that's why he went for the Frostbolt.
Okay.
Yep, so Aaron is absolutely a better Quest Mage player than we are.
Yeah, I should play that deck more.
I've never played that deck because I didn't want to craft Kabbalist Tomes, even though I pulled the secret behind that quest. And also, I believe... No, never mind, my game did not bug out. And we're
Ooh.
seeing a Patches the Pirate.
Well, he's my buddy.
So normally,
I haven't seen him all day today, so.
yeah, I play a lot of Murloc Paladin. I think the Corpse Taker variant is favored against Aggro Druid. I had fairly good success climbing ladder against Aggro Druid, but with the Scalebane version, I found myself getting outsped pretty often against the faster decks and not having any good way to heal up. So I'm a little concerned for Ron here. That being said, because Paladin's off meta now, we have seen all the token druids drop Hungry Crab, which is really nice. Getting Hungry Crab on turn 1 never feels good.
Yeah,
I wonder.
sure. Well, I just don't see a lot of token druids on ladder.
That's
See,
also true. I saw a lot more pre-nerf,
Definitely
but
hurt them.
every now and then there's a Reddit post about someone making Legend with Token Druid, and suddenly I see like 20% more Token Druids the next day. It's a pretty cheap deck, and a lot of people find it quite fun. So I think every time people are like, wait, this deck's still viable, they go ahead and play it again.
Right. What is this? Grim Necromancer? Is that a common card? I don't think I've
No,
seen that.
I've seen some modern lists running Grim Necromancer, Evolving Spores, and like the more mid-range package. I have no clue how well it does. I'll be honest.
What
But
to do?
Seems kind of weak.
yeah.
I mean, depends on what you're playing against, but
I'm in charge now.
yep. clear their board to make sure they can't buff anything. Just next turn though.
So while Paladin is normally vulnerable to getting outsped, the Token Druid is starting to run out of cards. Grim Necromancer doesn't exactly inspire fear in me without any of the buffs, and he's not got any of the buffs. One thing of note is that neither player is running. Sorry, neither player is running Crazed Alchemist. So Crazed Alchemist is a tech that I really like in both of these decks. And Token Druid is really good for turning your Crypt Lord into an offensive menace. And I found a lot of use for it in Murloc Paladin. Because you have a bunch of awkwardly high health statted minions that you can just turn into offensive powerhouses. It also helps against your very weak Shaman matchup and against Doomsayers. It's interesting to see neither player running that.
Right.
Also, I realized that the contact list. Well, Redemption with Righteous Protector is nasty. Just you can wall so much damage with that. I really don't like the Taunt Druid of the Swarm here. I think you want to go for Poisonous so that you can clear out some of the bigger minions that Paladin's going to develop. For example, like a Blessing of Kings up Righteous Protector. Instead, he's going to eat this Druid of the Swarm for free, and then eat the Galaka Crawler and the Hero Power on top of that. Never mind, he top decks Mark of the Lotus. Grim Necro, Mark of the Lotus, win game.
Wow.
That is, I think, definitely the best top deck he could have gotten there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Or maybe Living Mana. Living Mana would have been okay too.
Yeah, you're gonna see Finja come out. Makes sense. Not
But you
much
have the
to say
top.
here.
Wow.
Here's yep, he runs Malfurion the Pestilent. That's the top of his curve. It's a very strange deck.
Well, but it's gonna work out because it's
Yeah.
you can play
He's
it
gonna
next
curve
turn.
into it perfectly, probably get double poisoned, and the Crypt Lord blocks the Finja. We can see that Ron has no way of buffing up the Finja to get through that Crypt Lord, unless he pulls his second Kings. And I think this board's threatening lethal. We got Stonehill. Stonehill into Wicker Flame, I guess, will be pretty decent. But I'm not sure I see a path for Paladin now out of this. I think Druid is too far ahead. You have to survive till 8 and get Tyrion off? Like, I'm not sure that's gonna happen at all.
Which path to choose?
No, it's not gonna help. It's gonna be too late.
Yep. I mean, you have to drop the stone now.
Ooh, Sunkeeper.
Yes, Right, you're thinking about Ancient of Blossoms. You're thinking about... Are you thinking about Sinjin?
No, I mean next turn. No,
Next
Sunkeeper
turn?
is gonna take off more.
Yeah, Sunkeeper's gonna
No.
take off more damage, but it will add a bit of attack to the Crypt Lord.
So you're gonna block at least 7, but potentially 9.
Right, but Sunkeeper buffs the board by 4. But he also buffs his own minions. I would have liked to see the Sunkeeper, I think. You definitely attack with Finja here. You have to start dishing out damage, especially after picking the Ancient. But no, Ron ends his turn. And that Living Mana is not going to do anything, but we're going to see Malfurion.
Yeah, just go for 2 poisons.
Yep, the Crypt Lord's going to get to 8 health. You really want to... okay, he's going to use that. That works too. We see no Consecrations, as is fairly standard in his mid-range Paladin deck, so that is one of the big weaknesses of the Paladin, and the reason why it loses to Rogue and Shaman. It has no real way of getting back on... There's no way of getting back on board.
Life is over.
And he opts for the taunts again. I'm really not sure I like this. I don't think it'll matter, but
Why is he trading?
I don't know. I would have liked to see Poisonouses to get through the big taunts that are coming up. Wow, that's a great top deck.
No. Wow.
That's an amazing top deck, but I mean, he still has no way of clearing anything. He's just blocking damage. And
I still want to see a hit from Finja.
yeah, I absolutely. You want to... Yeah.
Taunts are coming. I don't know if the Druid can
get through all of this. Yeah, I mean, Living Mana is gonna develop 14/14 of stats, and Malfurion's hero power is crazy.
Yeah, but
Taunts are coming, but there's not. Okay, there are actually that many more. He says 2 Spiker Steeds, a Terran, 2 Bone Mares, and the second Stonehill.
Savage Roar would have been a good top deck.
Yeah, Savage Roar would have been bonkers. I mean, now we're just gonna see a bunch of. Do you think the Ancient of Blossoms is looking a little better now, given the current board state? I mean, Tarim would have buffed the Druid's board by a lot.
Yeah, that is certainly better because you gotta trade everything to kill it.
It's 3 attack. Yeah, and then you plop down the Tyrion next turn, and suddenly the Druid's not looking so good anymore. I really disagree with going for taunts instead of poisonous.
Can't even kill the Finja, I think, right?
Yeah, he can't. He doesn't have the damage to get through a Finja. On the bright side, none of his taunt. Oh no, he has the 1/1. 1/1's gonna die.
Is eternal. My turn
And then
is not.
yeah, you go face here. Ah, he's thinking of the Skelemancer.
Oh, for sure. You gotta play that.
Yeah,
I think
he's debating whether or not he wants both 1/1s. At this point, he's getting outvalued. Finja's gonna get a kill. He's gonna plop down Tyrion.
he lost 2 damage, lost a 2/2, and got a 1/1. I don't think I would have done that.
Nah, me neither.
Yeah.
And that's a Spiker Steed off the top. Is he thinking about playing the Steed, or it looks like he is thinking about playing the Steed? I'm not sure I like that. I think I would just pop down a Tyrion.
So
What do you think? Steed absorbs 14 more damage. Yeah, I do like the Steed, never mind. Steed absorbs 14 more damage, while Tyrion only absorbs 7. And yeah, suddenly Ron's looking in a much better position if we don't see a Savage Roar in the next couple of turns. These taunts are gonna continue piling up.
These 1/1s are not gonna do much without a Savage Roar.
I think you want to kill off as much of your board as possible as Druid and then drop the Living Mana.
Yes.
So I think, yeah, you might actually... Yeah. He can't even get through the Stegodon. That's really sad. Makes the Living Mana really awkward too. You can only generate 4 tokens. And this 110 Crypt Lord is looking like he really wants an Alchemist buddy, but he's not getting one in this deck. I think he's still Living Mana here. 10/10 for 5 is still the play. And then plus 5 health for Crypt Lord. It's 10/15 for 5. Seems balanced.
Savage Roar. He needs it. Tyrion. I go for Tyrion. Threw that big taunt, but it's not doing much.
Yep. He's thinking
Bone
about
Mare.
Bone Mare on
He's thinking about Bone Mare.
Bone Mare on the War Leader adds
He can
effectively
go
7
further
health.
down.
I mean, they're effectively the same. Bone Mare lets you put out one more guy.
Reporting for
Going
Looks
for
like
Bone
he is
Mare.
going for the Bone Mare. It also has more immediate damage than you. Let's see, Bone Mare 7/4. Yeah, Bone Mare lets him finally clear out that Crypt Lord, which is nice. Oh, he's doing it on the. He's doing it on taunts. I don't like that at all. He's taking 8. He just killed
He went
himself.
face.
There's lethal on board.
He went face.
There's lethal
What?
on board.
Oh, he had to go face with. Wait, did he?
No.
What did he go face with? With that 1/1? Well, okay, let's
Yeah,
see.
but he should have
No,
bone mared
then
something
that-
that didn't have taunt to generate essentially more taunt value. Instead, there's just lethal on board.
Yeah, he does.
If you bone mare the War Leader, which the War Leader goes to 7,
battle is over.
the awkward Stegodon's at 1, the Crypt Lord can kill off the Stegodon, Hero Power and 2 things kills War Leader, and then there's 4 minions left, which isn't lethal. So he could have survived on 1 health if he Bone Marrowed the 3-3. But instead, the weird mid-range Druid is gonna even this series up 2-2. And so the last remaining deck for Ron, now that his Rogue, his Paladin, and his Druid have been are gone, is Evolve Shaman. Of course, I've seen this deck so
Shaman's
much.
favored against the Druid.
Yeah, I think Evolve Shaman's favored against the Druid. I just feel like Evolve Shaman beats every aggro deck. Feels like. But I mean, with Evolve Shaman, and both these decks are really swingy though, so it's definitely not like a disgustingly favored matchup. It's probably like 53-47 or something. So interestingly enough, Ron's Evolve Shaman is running the list that Purple and Pavo are running, which is with 1 Sea Giant instead of a Bloodlust and 1 Barnes instead of Saturday Night Chain Gang. So I'm not entirely convinced on the Barnes. There are quite a few totems that are nice to pull, as well as Eye of Blackpaw, and you can always pull Evolve target late game. But I do really like the Sea Giant. I think it's a little more consistent than 2 Bloodlusts, because whenever you have a double Bloodlust hand, it just feels really terrible. And Sea Giant is great in a token versus token matchup.
Yeah, sure. Is the token Druid running Hydra? Bittertide Hydra?
Oh, this is a really strange list. He's running no large minions. Instead, he's just running a lot of small guys and a lot of buffs. He's running double Adult Grizzlies. He's running double Grim Necromancer. He's running double Evolving Spores. He's running a Soul of the Forest. Seems like the entire deck is just 2/2s.
Revolves around having as much crap on your board as possible.
Yeah, pretty much. Double Mark of the Lotus, double Power of the Wild, double Adult Grizzly, double Savage Roar, double Evolving Spores, and a Soul of the Forest. That is a lot of buffs.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me. Have you seen Andrew's token Paladin?
Yeah, the Guy Paladin. It was really interesting. I was wondering how well that would do too.
Against me, it didn't go so well, but I think, I mean, it runs into the problem of not drawing consistently as well. Like, it's just like any other combo-y deck.
Yeah. Like I think the Murloc mid range is a lot more consistent.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, this is pretty much the dream start for Shaman here. Whereas there's an awkward Mark of Yasharaj on a non-beast that you have to do for the Druid. Unless he's thinking about waiting for Crypt Lord, but that's pretty greedy.
That's way too greedy. I think I would just
Mark of
go for it.
Yasharaj, kill the non-pirate because you're running a Galaka Crawler. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
On the Shaman side, either Jade Claws or Flame Tongue Totem lets you trade this out. Which one would you go for?
I'd go for the claws.
Looks like he's going for the Flame Tongue. I guess Flame Tongue lets you curve into Claws plus Flame Elemental next turn. But
Or you do claws and then you can do flame tongue on the Jade Golem. But
right.
that's my personal
Yeah.
preference.
Yeah, me too. But I think they end up being pretty similar. This Crypt Lord is really frustrating. Are you thinking about Flame Elemental Devolve here? No. Looks like he's just toteming up.
That's a good totem.
That is a very good totem.
I hate leaving a flame tongue on the board by itself. Like, what's
Yeah.
that gonna do?
That's true. I can agree with that. Well, there's a pretty dead hand for the Druid player. Double living mana you never really want to see either. he-
I would just hero
Yeah, I
power.
think you just hero power and kill the taunt. Feels pretty bad doing it.
I wonder.
You got living mana coming up, and then you're gonna have 1 mana, assuming
Right.
nothing dies.
And then that lets you, yeah, you definitely don't waste the mark here. I think he's probably just planning out his future turns. I mean, turn 5 living mana, turn 6 mark, and if he somehow miraculously clears it, you probably have another living mana or a Malfurion.
Yeah.
But we do see that the Shaman's holding Devo, so wow,
Oh,
he really
that-
goes for
that
the
was
Mark
great.
of the Lotus. Interesting. This is gonna end up dying to Jade Claws. Yeah, and then Living Mana getting devolved is one of the most brutal things that can happen in Hearthstone. And we see
For sure.
both devolves in the Shaman's hand.
Yeah, like I've never actually seen it. Like, you know, you think about it, it's like, wow, that's game over, right? You're stuck with 1 mana
Yep.
and you can't do anything.
I've actually won off that once, exactly once. It gave me a bunch of total garbage, but I had enough hand buffs in hand that it ended up working out even though I had to claw my way back from 1 mana. Interesting to see Thing from below here. Living Mana I think is a foregone conclusion. You have to go for it.
The worst I think would be devolve plus that 2 mana spell.
Rom, yeah.
Yeah. Oh god, I cannot remember the name of any card.
But it's important that the Living Mana treants are 2 mana, because it means that Devolve isn't just going to make them all Snow Flippers,
friend.
but we have some BM from Ron, and the Devolve comes out. Brutal. Utterly brutal. And they're all 1 health.
Wow,
It doesn't have the Maelstrom, but
devastating board.
that's disgusting. Yeah. I've also run into Mass Dispel and Living Mana. Also feels terrible. Especially since
Wow.
no one actually
Right.
plays Mass Dispel. I think the one consolation prize for the Druid player here is that he did get a whole bunch of beasts. But without Mark and Yashraj anywhere in sight, I'm not sure that's gonna matter. He's so
lucky.
far behind.
He got 4 penguins essentially, even though they're 1
Yeah.
mana. Like,
Yeah, that's true. He got some really bad ones. I think this is game 5, but as the Druid, I think he feels tempted to concede here. Actually, speaking of which, I do have a question to ask you. In your first series against Trung, your final game, you conceded while still in a fairly livable spot as Druid. What's the story there?
let's see.
It was
I
against,
had,
it
so
was
I
against the
had
Tempo Mage.
my thought process was that I was gonna leave up a Hydra on the board. I was at how much HP was I at? I don't remember.
18 or something, I think.
Yeah. So like I had 1
Yeah.
card in my.
Right, but you had a Jade Spirit, which summons two attack minions, which can theoretically trade off for the Hydra. And it turns out that your opponent actually had a pretty dead hand.
Yeah, he had I think he had like 4 cards in hand. I was just like, yeah, I'm getting out of this. Like,
He did have a Fireland, so I think he probably had the game wrapped up, but it was interesting seeing you concede at such a high
I
life total.
concede.
You know, it might have been 19 life.
yeah, I mean, it was I mean, game 1 and game 2 they were kind of tilting, and then I was just like, okay, I'm done.
Makes sense.
Get out of here and play a new one.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, looks like Ron takes this 3-2.
Yeah.
And so Ron is our 4th contestant in the top 4, and Suhib is our 4th contestant out of the tournament. And so the remaining players, we have the 2nd seed Kevin Pruitt, the 3rd seed Aaron Shock. Wait, no, 2nd seed Aaron Shockton, 3rd seed Kevin Pruitt, and the 7th seed Ron Eisenband, and the 8th seeded 8th seeded Trung Lee. So definitely a variance. It goes to show that regular season performance can all be dashed away in a few unlucky best of 5s. And I believe that does wrap it up for tonight. For any of us loyal viewers who are still hanging around, please join us again tomorrow at 8 p.m. I'll try to turn on the stream a little before that just to get set up. But at 8 p.m. we will be starting the matches for the final 4 players. Till then, see you then. Thank you, Ang, for hopping on to cast the remaining few matches with me, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone.
See ya.
I guess I'll show off the bracket for just a second for Alrighty. So yeah, tomorrow night we're gonna see Trung Lee versus Kevin Pruitt and Aaron Shotkin versus Ron Eisenband. And then after that, the loser of Trung versus Kevin will play against the winner of Aaron versus Ron. And then the winner of that match will face whoever won the semifinals in the grand finals. Now, one thing to note is that in the grand finals, because of the double elimination format, if the person from the lower bracket wins, they actually have to play a second best of 5 to finally secure the victory. So this is quite a grueling experience, one that I encountered last year, and definitely towards the end of the night, we're going to be seeing some fatigue from our contestants. So I can't wait. See you all tomorrow, 8 p.m. Pacific. Catch you later.